Hey, make sure y'all get this video a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button. Mob Nasty, shout out to you for coming through. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Gotta cleanse my space with this sage. I don't know if y'all spiritual like that. Y'all fuck with sage, but I do. Yesterday, got a little hectic up in this motherfucker. Gotta make sure my energy is clean, space is clean. Hopefully we can get through this book, man. I be talking way more than the fucking book be playing. We'll never get through that shit the way at my rate. But I be having no choice but to speak on certain things, because it'd be like, I've never listened to I've never read the book of Enoch all the way through. Like, so some of the things I've heard so far, I'm like, wait, what? I didn't know that. And then yesterday I was having epiphanies with that shit too, so. What am I looking for? Notification gang in this mode. I'm about to start the book in a few. Get my blunt ready. Blunts and books. Let's go. Class is in session, people.
Namely, by a chasm, by water, and by light above it. And in the same way, likewise, are sinners separated when they die, and are buried in the earth, judgment not overtaking them in their lifetime. Here their souls are separated. Moreover, abundant is their suffering until the time of the great judgment, the castigation, and the torment of those who eternally execrate, whose souls are punished and bound there forever. And thus has it been from the beginning of the world. Thus has there existed a separation between the souls of those who utter complaints and of those who watch for their destruction, to slaughter them in the day of sinners. A receptacle of this sort has been formed for the souls of unrighteous men and of sinners, of those who have completed crime and associated with the impious, whom they resemble. Their souls shall not be annihilated in the day of judgment, neither shall they arise from this place. Then I blessed God and said, Blessed be my Lord, the Lord of glory and of righteousness, who reigns over all, forever and forever. Chapter 23. From thence I went to another place, towards the west, unto the extremities of the earth, where I beheld a fire blazing and running along without cessation, which intermitted its course neither by day nor by night, but continued always the same. I inquired, saying, What is this which never ceases? Then Raguel, one of the holy angels who were with me, answered and said, This blazing fire which thou beholdest running towards the west is that of all the luminaries of heaven. Chapter 24. I went from thence to another place, and saw a mountain of fire flashing both day and night. I proceeded towards it, and perceived 7 splendid mountains, which were all different from each other. Their stones were brilliant and beautiful. All were brilliant and splendid to behold, and beautiful was their surface. 3 mountains were towards the east, and strengthened by being placed upon one another, and 3 were towards the south, strengthened in a similar manner. There were likewise deep valleys, which did not approach each other, and the 7th mountain was in the midst of them. In length they all resembled the seat of a throne, and odoriferous trees surrounded them. Among these there was a tree of an unceasing smell, nor of those which were in Eden was there one of all the fragrant trees which smelt like this. Its leaf, its flower, and its bark never withered, and its fruit was beautiful. Its fruit resembled the cluster of the palm. I exclaimed, "Behold, this tree is goodly in aspect, pleasing in its leaf, and the sight of its fruit is delightful to the eye." Then Michael, one of the holy and glorious angels who were with me, and one who presided over them, answered and said, "Enoch, why dost thou inquire respecting the odor of this tree? Why art thou inquisitive to know it?" Then I, Enoch, replied to him and said, "Concerning everything I am desirous of instruction, but particularly concerning this tree." He answered me, saying, "That mountain which thou beholdest, the extent of whose head resembles the seat of the Lord, will be the seat on which shall sit the holy and great Lord of glory, the everlasting King, when he shall come and descend to visit the earth with goodness. And that tree of an agreeable smell, not one of carnal odor, there shall be no power to touch until the period of the great judgment, when all shall be punished and consumed forever. This shall be bestowed on the righteous and humble. The fruit of this tree shall be given to
Why
the elect.
everybody gotta be punished?
For towards the north, life shall be planted in the holy place, towards the habitation of the everlasting King. Then shall they greatly rejoice and exult in the Holy One. The sweet odor shall enter into their bones, and they shall live a long life on the earth, as thy forefathers have lived. Neither in their days shall sorrow, distress, trouble, and punishment afflict them. And I bless the Lord of glory, the everlasting King, because he has prepared this tree for the saints, formed it, and declared that he would give it to them. Chapter 25. From thence I proceeded to the middle of the earth, and beheld a happy and fertile spot, which contained branches continually sprouting from trees which were planted in it. There I saw a holy mountain, and underneath it water on the eastern side, which flowed towards the south. I saw also on the east another mountain as high as that, and between them there were deep but not wide valleys. Water ran towards the mountain to the west of this, and underneath there was likewise another mountain. There was a valley, but not a wide one, below it, and in the midst of them were other deep and dry valleys towards the extremity of the three. All these valleys, which were deep, but not wide, consisted of a strong rock, with a tree which was planted in them.
That thumbs up,
And
bro.
I wondered at the rock and at the valleys, being extremely surprised. Chapter 26. Then I said, "What means this blessed land, all these lofty trees, and the accursed valley between them?" Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who were with me, replied, "This valley is the accursed of the accursed forever. Here shall be collected all who utter with their mouths unbecoming language against God, and speak harsh things of his glory. Here shall they be collected. Here shall be their territory. In the latter days an example of judgment shall be made of them in righteousness before the saints, while those who have received mercy shall forever all their days bless God, the everlasting King. And at the period of judgment shall they bless him for his mercy."
So, to God and the people who do right, not God, but to God's followers, when y'all die, y'all gonna be blessing him for eternity. What does it mean by blessing him for eternity? And why would I'm not a Christian, so this don't go for me. But this just shows me why I don't want to be in a religion. I don't want to die and for the rest of eternity bless someone else. I want to be able to bless myself. I want to be able to, like, I don't know, like, I don't want people blessing me. I don't want people worshiping me, but like that ain't something I want to do for eternity. It just don't sound cool. Like, so that may be like somebody else's idea of like heaven and abundance, and I don't know, but not mine.
See, as he has distributed it to them. Then I blessed God, addressing myself to him and making mention, as was meet, of his greatness. Chapter 27. From thence I proceeded towards the east, to the middle of the mountain in the desert, the level surface only of which I perceived.
Make sure y'all hit that
It was
like
full of
button.
trees of the seed alluded to, and water
Nothing to
leaped
hit that
down
button.
upon it. There appeared a cataract, composed as of many cataracts, both towards the west and towards the east. Upon one side were trees, upon the other water and dew. Chapter 28. Then I went to another place from the desert, towards the east of that mountain which I had approached. There I beheld choice trees, particularly those which produced the sweet-smelling drugs, frankincense and myrrh, and trees unlike to each other. And over it, above them, was the elevation of the eastern mountain, at no great distance. Chapter 29. I likewise saw another place with valleys of water which never wasted, where I perceived a goodly tree, which in smell resembled the sacchanin. And towards the sides of these valleys I perceived cinnamon of a sweet odor. Over them I advanced towards the east. Chapter 30. Then I beheld another mountain containing trees, from which water flowed like Neketro. Its name was Sarira and Kalbonaba. And upon this mountain I beheld another mountain, upon which were trees of Alva. These trees were full like almond trees and strong, and when they produced fruit, it was superior to all perfume. Chapter 31. After these things, surveying the entrances of the north above the mountains, I perceived 7 mountains replete with pure nard, odoriferous trees, cinnamon, and papyrus. From thence I passed on above the summits of those mountains, and went over the Erythraean Sea. And when I was advanced far beyond it, I passed along above the angel Zatael, and arrived at the garden of righteousness. In this garden I beheld, among other trees, some which were numerous and large, and which flourished there. Their fragrance was agreeable and powerful, and their appearance both varied and elegant. The tree of knowledge also was there, of which if anyone eats, he becomes endowed with great wisdom. It was like a species of the tamarind tree, bearing fruit which resembles grapes, extremely fine, and its fragrance extended to a considerable distance. I exclaimed, "How beautiful is this tree, and how delightful is its appearance!" Then holy Raphael, the angel who was with me, answered and said, "This is the tree of knowledge, of which thy ancient father and thy aged mother ate, who were before thee, and who
Oh,
obtained..."
Raphael finally said there's an ancient father and an ancient mother. Like, this is my first time hearing something about an ancient woman, and they ate from the tree of knowledge. I'm pretty. What is they talking about? Adam and Eve? Like, is that the ancient women that they referring to? Let me keep playing.
knowledge, their eyes being opened, and knowing themselves to be naked,
Oh,
were
yep,
expelled from the garden.
Literally, they ate from the tree of wisdom. God doesn't want you to be wise. Like, just from Adam and Eve eating from the tree of, like, the tree of knowledge. Like, God didn't want them to have wisdom. He didn't want them to have knowledge. He just wanted them to be dumb and stupid and follow his orders. But women, the woman who was obviously more enlightened than fucking Adam, like, no, let me go see what this is about. Like, so even though the God was like, don't do that, she still did it. And God was like, before you eat it, if you eat from this tree, you'll die. They did die in the end, like, overall, but they didn't die as soon as they ate from it. And they had the knowledge. They was wise and more. They was more enlightened. So that's why the world. That's why most Christians. I ain't gonna say every Christian. That's why most Christians are like the way they are. Like, they're in the right religion. Like, I should never try to like save somebody from like whatever they believe in. For the simple fact, That's how God wants his followers to be. He don't want them to question. He just wants them to follow and worship and bless him. That's all he wants of them. That ain't what I came here to do. Once again, God of the Bible did not create me. He created his shit, and this shit is his, but like he didn't create me. Like, and you say, well, why? If he didn't create you, how are you here? I came here to help. Like I came here to help people wake up. The ones that's supposed to wake up, not everybody. Everybody ain't meant to be enlightened. I'm here for those that's meant the ones. I'm here for the chosen ones. Like so. If you new to my channel, you like, dang, where this guy come from? That's just meant like you ready to hit his knowledge. You ready to go to the next level. Like, so that's why I said class is in session because I'm the teacher. Y'all are teachers too, but you the student as well. Because that's I came to teach.
Chapter 32. From thence I went on towards the extremities of the earth, where I saw large beasts different from each other, and birds various in their countenances and forms, as well as with notes of different sounds. To the east of these beasts I perceived the extremities of the earth, where heaven ceased. The gates of heaven stood open, and I beheld the celestial stars come forth.
Where heaven ceased,
I
that mean where
numbered
heaven
them
ended,
as they
right?
proceeded out of the gate, and wrote them all down, as they came out one by one according to their...
All right. When he said heaven ceased, that means end. So heaven isn't like just everywhere ominous, like supposedly God is ominous everywhere at the same time. Like so, what's past heaven? What is it other than heaven and earth? Well, of course we know of the other planets and moon and stars, like, but once again, who created that? Who's in charge of that? Since it's God created earth and like he created his heaven, who's the gods of fucking Jupiter, Mars, Saturn? Where those are gods in like Roman mythology, so they just don't call Earth God. I mean God Earth. Actually, Earth is called Mother Gaia. Earth is a woman, so that's another story.
number. I wrote down their names all together, their times and their seasons, as the angel Uriel, who was with me, pointed them out to me. He showed them all to me, and wrote down an account of them. He also wrote down for me their names, their regulations, and their operations. Chapter 33. From thence I advanced on towards the north, to the extremities of the earth. And there I saw a great and glorious wonder at the extremities of the whole earth. I saw there heavenly gates opening into heaven, 3 of them distinctly separated. The northern winds proceeded from them, blowing
Why do
cold,
God need
hail,
gates guarding heaven? Like, is heaven, if heaven is heaven, there shouldn't be nothing that's able to get to heaven. Why do we need gates? What are you trying to block out? Like, what are you trying to keep in? Like, it seems like heaven is a cult place where everybody worships and like blesses God all day, bow down to Him all day. Like, it's like a worshiping ceremony. It's for eternity. Imagine if you're in church. Imagine going to church 24/7, like just being in church all day, every day, for the rest of your life. How happy would that make you? Like, honest opinion, it says it's 2 people around here, but ask yourself, you feel if you every single day you had to pray to God, worship God, bless God. And it was like church 24/7. No days off, no breaks for eternity. How fun does that sound? Once again, that ain't. It's like now that I'm looking at reading the book of Enoch, listening to this, and like what I've uh learned in other books and other studies. These worlds that's created, like Earth is just one world. And you got quote unquote heaven. That's another world dimension. Like it's a bunch of dimensions, and it's like when you die, you can go to any dimension you want, where it's way different. You can't even imagine what this world is like. I mean, what that next world is like. So, but me playing Roblox with my children and stuff, it's giving me that. That's the best way I can explain it. You can just go into any world and then like just play that game. Like once you're done playing the game, you can just go wherever you want again. Like go somewhere else and like that's the way you gotta think. You don't be just thinking it's only a heaven and hell and earth. That ain't it. Like it's more than that. It's more than your mind can even imagine. Like so, me knowing that, like that's what I'm like. I ain't gotta be. I'm not sub. I don't have to be here. Like I'm literally here to like help people, right? And have fun. Like, cause Earth is like, you supposed to have fun here. You supposed to live the life you want to live. Like so, at first I wasn't because I wasn't on my purpose and on my mission. So I was fucking miserable because I didn't know. Like so, now it's the opposite. I'm living in my purpose. I'm living in my mission. I know who I am. I get to have fun. Like my life is fun for me. I can't complain on one thing about it. Like there's always some new popping up. Even the bad shit that seems to happen in my life, I'll be like ready for that sometime. Like not all the time, but sometime I'll be happy for like shake up in my life. I hate when shit just calm. Like whether shit some gotta go good, super great. I ain't gonna say some gotta go bad, but like overall, like I like when there's a challenge. I like when I feel like it's pressure on me, because that's when I operate the best. That's when I don't know what it is, but like when I'm under pressure, it's like you better watch out. Like, so let me stop getting off topic. I need to get through this book.
Frost, snow, dew, and rain. From one of the gates they blew mildly, but when they blew from the other two gates, it was with violence and force. They blew over the earth strongly. Chapter 34. From thence I went to the extremities of the world westwards, where I perceived three gates open, as I had seen in the north, the gates and passages through them being of equal magnitude. Chapters 35 and 36. Then I proceeded to the extremities of the earth southwards, where I saw three gates open to the south, from which issued dew, rain, and wind. From thence I went to the extremities of heaven eastwards, where I saw three heavenly gates open to the east, which had smaller gates within them. Through each of these small gates, the stars of heaven passed on, and proceeded towards the west by a path which was seen by them, and that at every period of their appearance. When I beheld them, I blessed. Every time in which they appeared, I blessed the Lord of glory, who had made those great and splendid signs,
blessing us.
that they might display the magnificence of his works to angels and to the souls of men, and that these might glorify all his works and operations, might see the effect of his power, might glorify the great...
Yo, what the like, I'm overthinking something right now. Bless. What does it mean to bless somebody? Even when you say bless you, what does that mean? What does that term truly means to bless somebody? Let me check it out right quick. Cause I'm like, why does God need us to bless him? Well, not me, but why does he need people to bless him? I thought we were supposed to be asking God for blessings and stuff, but he the one who want to be blessed. To confer or evoke divine favor upon. So God wants you to confer or invoke divine favor upon him. He wants you to give him your energy, your blood, like the we speak things into existence, right? So he wants you to use your words, like to only think highly of him, to only talk highly of him. Like, I mean, that's what you're supposed to have, like, people doing, like, but he's controlled people to only, I mean, not me, because I'll be talking shit sometimes, but overall, like, to bless somebody is like to ask for, like, to invoke something positive for them, like, in their life. So even though people don't bless God, they ask for blessings. He don't bless you because you supposed to be doing the opposite. You supposed to be blessing him. Like so. Crazy.
Labor of his hands, and bless him forever.
Bless him forever. Do y'all hear that? He wants you to bless him forever. Imagine how fucking that feels. To bless a God forever. Like, I know it's people don't want to hear this because it's like going against your beliefs, but guess what? They took this out the Bible. You know why they took this out the Bible? So you wouldn't fucking hear this shit. And then you'd be like, why I gotta bless God forever? Like, what's the point of that? Don't it's supposed to be opposite? But no, it's not like that.
Section 6, Chapter 37. The vision which he saw, the second vision of wisdom, which Enoch saw, the son of Jared, the son of Malaleel, the son of Canaan, the son of Enos, the son of Seth, the son of Adam. This is the commencement of the word of wisdom, which I received to declare and tell to those who dwell upon the earth. Hear from the beginning, and understand to the end, the holy things, which I utter in the presence of the Lord of spirits. Those who were before us thought it good to speak. And let not us, who come after, obstruct the beginning of wisdom. Until the present period never has there been given before the Lord of spirits that which I have received, wisdom according to the capacity of my intellect, and according to the pleasure of the Lord of spirits. That which I have received from him, a portion of life eternal. And I obtained 3 parables, which I declared to the inhabitants of the world. Chapter 38. Parable the first. When the congregation of the righteous shall be manifested, and sinners be judged for their crimes, and be troubled in the sight of the world, when righteousness shall be manifested in the presence of the righteous themselves, who will be elected for their good works duly weighed by the Lord of spirits, and when the light of the righteous and the elect who dwell on earth shall be manifested, where will the habitation of sinners be? And where the place of rest for those who have rejected the Lord of spirits? It would have been better for them had they never been born. When, too, the secrets of the righteous shall be revealed, then shall sinners be judged, and impious men shall be afflicted in the presence of the righteous and the elect. From that period those who possess the earth shall cease to be powerful and exalted, neither shall they be capable of beholding the countenances of the holy. For the light of the countenances of the holy, the righteous, and the elect has been seen by the Lord of spirits. Yet shall not the mighty kings of that period be destroyed, but be delivered into the hands of the righteous and the holy. Nor thenceforward shall any obtain commiseration from the Lord of spirits, because their lives in this world will have been completed. Chapter 39. In those days shall the elect and holy race descend from the upper heavens, and their seed shall then be with the sons of men. Enoch received books of indignation and wrath, and books of hurry and agitation. Never shall they obtain mercy, saith the Lord of spirits. A cloud then snatched me up, and the wind raised me above the surface of the earth, placing me at the extremity of the heavens. There I saw another vision. I saw the habitations and couches of the saints. There my eyes beheld their habitations with the angels, and their couches with the holy ones. They were entreating, supplicating, and praying for the sons of men, while righteousness like water flowed before them, and mercy like dew was scattered over the earth. And thus shall it be with them forever and forever. At that time my eyes beheld the dwelling of the elect, of truth, faith, and righteousness. Countless shall be the number of the holy and the elect in the presence of God forever and forever. Their residence I beheld under the wings of the Lord of spirits. All the holy and the elect sung before him in appearance like a blaze of fire, their mouths being full of blessings, and their lips glorifying the name of the Lord of spirits. and righteousness incessantly dwelt before him. There was I desirous of remaining, and my soul longed for that habitation. There was my antecedent inheritance, for thus had I prevailed before the Lord of spirits. At that time I glorified and extolled the name of the Lord of spirits with blessing and with praise,
Hit
for
that
he
like
has
button if you haven't
established it
already.
with
Really
blessing
appreciate
and
it.
with praise, according to his own good pleasure. That place long did my eyes contemplate. I blessed and said, Blessed be he, blessed from the beginning forever. In the beginning, before the world was created, and without end is his knowledge. What is this world? Of every existing generation, those shall bless thee who do not sleep in the dust, but stand before thy glory, blessing, glorifying, exalting thee, and saying, The holy, holy Lord of spirits fills the whole world of spirits. There my eyes beheld all who, without sleeping, stand before him and bless him, saying, Blessed be thou, and blessed be the name of God forever and forever. Then my countenance became changed, until I was incapable of seeing. Chapter 40. After this, I beheld thousands and myriads of myriads, and an infinite number of people, standing before the Lord of spirits. On the four wings, likewise, of the Lord of spirits, on the four sides, I perceived others, besides those who were standing before him.
God got an infinite number of people blessing him, invoking goodness and positivity on him. He's not blessing them. He's like literally, he's not blessing anybody. Everybody in heaven and like quote unquote the infinite amount of people like are blessing him. Like so. When you die, I hope you make it to heaven if that's where you want to go. Me, I'm gonna probably be fucking. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be somewhere in a different world where like, what's a TV show that be like talking about parallel universes or something like Star Trek or something? Like all the different places they be going on Star Trek, man, that shit is real. You think they fucking how they was able to create that shit? Just maybe fucking goddamn. They know the government know. I don't know what's on Area 51, but that shit is like a couple hours from here. I might take a trip out there, but they know UFOs, extraterrestrials, aliens. Like we are not the only motherfuckers in this bitch. Like so, I wonder why the Bible don't talk about that. Like you probably do. I just haven't like read it or it like speaks about it like in the code and shit. You know how to be doing hot boxing and listening to the Bible. Ain't that some crazy shit?
Their names, too, I know, because the angel who proceeded with me declared them to me, discovering to me every secret thing. Then I heard the voices of those upon the four sides magnifying the Lord of glory. The first voice blessed the Lord of spirits forever and forever.
I love my car.
The second voice I heard blessing the elect one, and the elect who suffer on account of the Lords of spirits. The third voice I heard petitioning and praying for those who dwell upon earth, and supplicate the name of the Lord of spirits. The fourth voice I heard expelling the impious angels, and prohibiting them from entering into the presence of the Lord of spirits, to prefer accusations against the inhabitants of the earth. After this, I besought the angel of peace, who proceeded with me, to explain all that was concealed. I said to him, Who are those whom I have seen on the four sides, and whose words I have heard and written down? He replied, The first is the merciful, the patient, the holy Michael. The second is he who presides over every suffering and every affliction of the sons of men, the holy Raphael. The third, who presides over all that is powerful, is Gabriel. And the fourth, who presides over repentance and the hope of those who will inherit eternal life, is Phanuel.
Phanuel. So that's what y'all need to be calling on for repentance. Like, why don't they? You don't suppose? I mean, well, this is before Jesus came. Like, so Like, man, why people don't know about Faniel? This is my first time hearing that angel name.
4 angels of the Most High God, and their 4 voices, which at that time I heard. Chapter 41. After this, I beheld the secrets of the heavens and of paradise, according to its divisions, and of human action, as they weigh it there in balances. I saw the habitations of the elect, and the habitations of the holy. And there my eyes beheld all the sinners, who denied the Lord of glory, and whom they were expelling from thence, and dragging away, as they stood there, no punishment proceeding against them from the Lord of spirits. There too my eyes beheld the secrets of the lightning, and the thunder, and the secrets of the winds, how they are distributed as they blow over the earth. The secrets of the winds, of the dew, and of the clouds. There I perceived the place from which they issued forth and became saturated with the dust of the earth. There I saw the wooden receptacles, out of which the winds became separated, the receptacle of hail, the receptacle of snow, the receptacle of the clouds, and the cloud itself, which continued over the earth before the creation of the world. I beheld also the receptacles of the moon, whence the moons came, whither they proceeded, their glorious return, and how one became more splendid than another. I marked their rich progress, their unchangeable progress, their disunited and undiminished progress, their observance of a mutual fidelity by a stable oath, their proceeding forth before the sun, and their adherence to the path allotted them, in obedience to the command of the Lord of spirits. Potent is his name, forever and forever. After this, I perceived that the path both concealed and manifest of the moon, as well as the progress of its path, was there completed by day and by night, while each one with another looked towards the Lord of spirits, magnifying and praising without cessation, since praise to them is rest. For in the splendid sun there is a frequent conversion to blessing and to malediction. The course of the moon's path to the righteous is light, but to sinners it is darkness. In the name of the Lord of spirits, who created a division between light and darkness, and, separating the spirits of men, strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his own righteousness. Nor does the angel prevent this, neither is he endowed with the power of preventing it, for the judge beholds them all, and judges them all in his own presence. Chapter 42. Wisdom found not a place on earth where she could inhabit. Her dwelling, therefore, is in heaven. Wisdom went forth to dwell among the sons of men, but she obtained not an habitation. Wisdom returned to her place, and seated herself in the midst of the angels. But iniquity went forth after her return, who unwillingly found an habitation, and resided among them, as rain in the desert, and as a dew in a thirsty land. Chapter 43. I beheld another splendor, and the stars of heaven. I observed that he had called them all by their respective names, and that they heard. In a righteous balance I saw that he weighed out with their light the amplitude of their places, and the day of their appearance, and their conversion. Splendor produced splendor, and their conversion was into the number of the angels, and of the faithful. Then I inquired of the angel who proceeded with me, and explained to me secret things, what their names were. He answered, A similitude of those has the Lord of spirits shown thee. They are names of the righteous who dwell upon earth, and who believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and forever. Chapter 44. Another thing I also saw respecting splendor, that it rises out of the stars and becomes splendor, being incapable of forsaking them.
Fucking hair in my face.
Section 7, Chapter 45. Parable the second, respecting these who deny the name of the habitation of the holy ones, and of the Lord of spirits. Heaven they shall not ascend, nor shall they come on the earth, This shall be the portion of sinners who deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and who are thus reserved for the day of punishment and of affliction.
See, even though I don't believe in this religion, like I'm not saying he's not real. Like I say he real. I gave him his acknowledgement. And I'm not a sinner. Like I'm not out here doing fucked up shit. So I'm just saying I'm denying like if I was to die and they were like, hey, you wanna go to heaven? I'd be like, nah, I wanna go somewhere else. If that was a movie, like I'd probably like, man, I'll come back to Earth one more time, like, cause it was fun. Like, I did what I came at, like, every time, besides, like, the last few times, cause I was a slave in one of my past lives. Like, so, the last life wasn't so cool, cause it was during 1920s, 1930s. That shit was racist times. Fucking the time before that, 1800s, around 1880. Nah, like it was like 18. I died around like 1880, so fucked up lifetime. And then the time before that, I was a slave in Haiti. And then the time before that, I was a king. Like so, when I was a king, I was fucking up. I was doing fucked up shit. I was kind of a racist, so I had to experience get that karma as a black Haitian slave, but I ended up working at, getting my freedom, working to the age of 33 where I was able to get my freedom. Like, so 33 is next year for me. Man, I know this year's gonna be crazy, but I just know 33. Like, that's that God, that Jesus year, like that. Man, it can either go left or right. So, my dad died at 33. Nipsey Hussle died at 33. Jesus died at 33. Like, I'm not saying I'm about to die. I'm gonna die. Like, I'm just saying, like, I know I'm gonna live past 33. But this is the year, like, next year's. I'm telling you, shit gonna be crazy for me. Like, I was over here visualizing, like, literally, like, I seen my future, like my YouTube channel just going crazy, like stupid crazy, like. And I was feeling like how I would be feeling in the future when it happened. Like so, I wasn't even really listening to what they were saying in the Bible because I was in my head. Like, and that's what happens a lot. I be visualizing, I be imagining things, and they come true. Like they always come true. So, hey, as long as it wasn't nothing negative, right?
In that day shall the elect one sit upon a throne of glory, and shall choose their conditions and countless habitations, while their spirits within them shall be strengthened, when they behold my elect one, shall choose them for those who have fled for protection to my holy and glorious name. In that day I will cause my elect one to dwell in the midst of them, will change the face of heaven, will bless it, and illuminate it forever. I will also change the face of the earth, will bless it, and cause those whom I have elected to dwell upon it. But those who have committed sin and iniquity shall not inhabit it, for I have marked their proceedings. My righteous ones will I satisfy with peace, placing them before me. But the condemnation of sinners shall draw near, that I may destroy them from the face of the earth. Chapter 46. There I beheld the Ancient of Days, whose head was like white wool, and with him another, whose countenance resembled that of man. His countenance was full of grace, like that of one of the holy angels. Then I inquired of one of the angels who went with me, and who showed me every secret thing concerning this Son of Man, who he was, whence he was, and why he accompanied the Ancient of Days. He answered and said to me, This is the Son of Man, to whom righteousness belongs, with whom righteousness has dwelt, and who will reveal all the treasures of that which is concealed. For the Lord of spirits has chosen him, and his portion has surpassed all before the Lord of spirits in everlasting uprightness. This Son of Man, whom thou beholdest, shall raise up kings, and the mighty from their couches, and the powerful from their thrones, shall loosen the bridles of the powerful, and break in pieces the teeth of sinners. He shall hurl kings from their thrones and their dominions, because they will not exalt and praise him, nor humble themselves before him, by whom their kingdoms were granted to them. The countenance likewise of the mighty shall he cast down, filling them with confusion. Darkness shall be their habitation, and worms shall be their bed. Nor from that their bed shall they hope to be again raised, because they exalted not the name of the Lord of spirits. They shall condemn the stars of heaven, shall lift up their hands against the Most High, shall tread upon and inhabit the earth, exhibiting all their works of iniquity, even their works of iniquity. Their strength shall be in their riches, and their faith in the gods whom they have formed with their own hands. They shall deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and shall expel him from the temples in which they assemble, and with him the faithful who suffer in the name of the Lord of spirits. Chapter 47. In that day, the prayer of the holy and the righteous, and the blood of the righteous, shall ascend from the earth into the presence of the Lord of spirits. In that day shall the holy ones assemble, who dwell above the heavens, and with united voice petition, supplicate, praise, laud, and bless the name of the Lord of spirits, on account of the blood of the righteous which has been shed, that the prayer of the righteous may not be intermitted before the Lord of spirits, that for them he would execute judgment, and that his patience may not endure forever. At that time I beheld the Ancient of Days, while he sat upon the throne of his glory, while the book of the living was opened in his presence, and while all the powers which were above the heavens stood around and before him. Then were the hearts of the saints full of joy, because the consummation of righteousness was arrived, the supplication of the saints heard, and the blood of the righteous appreciated by the Lord of spirits. Chapter 48. In that place I beheld a fountain of righteousness, which never failed, encircled by many springs of wisdom. Of these all the thirsty drank, and were filled with wisdom, having their habitation with the righteous, the elect, and the holy. In that hour was the Son of Man invoked before the Lord of spirits, and his name in the presence of the Ancient of Days. Before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of heaven were formed, his name was invoked in the presence of the Lord of spirits. A support shall he be for the righteous and the holy to lean upon, without falling, and he shall be the light of nations. He shall be the hope of those whose hearts are troubled. All who dwell on earth shall fall down and worship before him, shall bless and glorify him, and sing praises to the name of the Lord of spirits. Therefore, the elect and the concealed one existed in his presence, before the world was created, and forever. In his presence he existed, and has revealed to the saints and to the righteous the wisdom of the Lord of spirits. For he has preserved the lot of the righteous, because they have hated and rejected this world of iniquity, and have detested all its works and ways, in the name of the Lord of spirits. For in his name shall they be preserved, and his will shall be their life. In those days shall the kings of the earth and the mighty men, who have gained the world by their achievements, become humble in countenance. For in the day of their anxiety and trouble, their souls shall not be saved, and they shall be in subjection to those whom I have chosen.
You see, that's why like was my biggest issue. Like, it's saying if you successful on earth, basically like you can't get into heaven. Like, damn, ain't that fucked up? Why do I have to be a fucking slave? Why do I have to be poor in poverty to make it into your heaven? Like, that's why this is not my beliefs. Like, that's why I'm not in this religion, for the simple fact I'm trying to get to some billions. Like, I'm trying to get successful. I'm not trying to just live like the average Christian, like who don't want to have nothing. Like, and I know a lot of people like that. They like, nope, I just want to die and go to heaven. But I'm like, you sinning by not living in your purpose. Like, that be the fucked up part about it. Like, so it's fucked up that you can't be successful on this earth and make it into heaven. Like, I don't think that's right. I think that's kind of backwards. Just like I think it's backwards that God wants you to bless him instead of him blessing you. Like, so once again, this is not my religion. This book is not even as literal as the world think it is. It's more of a mythology. Like, but there is like truth in all of this. So this God is true. Like he's a real God. But at the same time, like
Is supposed to.
shit. Like, but at the same time, like the way he be operating, the way his rules are set up, like that ain't something like I want to be like. I don't want to be worshiping and blessing a God, some above me for the rest of my life. Like not just for the rest of my life, but just for eternity, for the rest of my spirit's eternity. What the fuck I want to do that for? I see why I was a fallen angel because I'm like, man, this shit is boring. I've been here too long. I need something to try. I need to try something new. So now, like, I'm ready to try something new after I transition on this earth. But until then, I'm gonna do what I came here to do. I'm gonna fucking put out content, as much content as I possibly can. I'm gonna continue to flood YouTube like I've been doing for the past since 2022. I've been flooding YouTube every single day. Like so, that's what I plan on doing because that's how often I get on YouTube throughout my day. Anyways, is like I'm watching probably 10 different videos a day on YouTube. So I'm dropping at least 5 shorts, getting on live, like posting community page, like I mean posts, like so I'm constantly like putting being in people's faces because that's what it takes, that's what it takes, like to grow your channel. Like so, if people had to just seen my video once, they probably wouldn't have subscribed. If they had seen it twice, still wouldn't subscribe. It takes a person seeing you at least 5 times before like they finally pay attention. Like so, me knowing that, I'm like, well, shit, I need to post at least 5 times a day. Like so, fucking in 2022, I posted over 600 videos. Like so, we're only in March. Just imagine about December come. Like, and I'm not about to slow down for nobody. I'm not letting anything stop me. Like, the only day I didn't like get on live is my birthday and when I had COVID. And that was before like I started getting on live every day. Like so, COVID stopped me because, and I was still posting shorts that day. Like so that it really didn't stop me. This is just one part of the thing. Like so, who knows? I might start adding vlogging to the videos, but that's just adding more work to like what I got going on. But things is getting more easier. The more you do something every single day, the easier it becomes. The more things you learn. So I've been learning things as far as YouTube wise. I'm like, man, I should have been did this years ago. So hey, it's never more perfect than the right time, which is now. So I can't complain about the wasted time that I wasted in the past. Can't get it back, but understanding time is an illusion. So I actually didn't waste anything. I'm still here. I'm still healthy. I'm still like I feel. Like, I mean, I probably feel kind of old because I'm 32, but I don't. I feel like I mean, compared to when I was in the military in my 20s, early 20s, I was in tip top shape for the simple fact the military made me work out. I hated working out. I hated running. I hated lifting weights. I hated it. But the only reason I had to did it was to get out of the hood. Like so, me being a cook in the military, I always like decided to skate out of like work or skate out of working out and shit. Like so, I just made it like to where when it was time to work out, I had something else planned to be doing. Like, and nobody ever questioned because I was like a good Marine. So I got away through it. Like, so even when I got out the military, I was in this church and like they like working out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which I hate doing. I hate lifting weights. Like, but I did it for the simple fact I was conforming to someone else's beliefs, what they wanted me to do. Like, so now I don't work out at all. Like who's gonna make me? I don't give a fuck. I don't have to work out. Like shit, I can do other things. I can walk. Like shit, I can swim. I don't have to fucking lift weights and run. Like shit. Yes, that does help, but at the same time, like uh, I wanted to do that shit. Like I don't give a fuck about doing that shit. I don't give a fuck about having a 6 pack. No matter how much I lifted weights or no matter how much I ran in the military in my younger days, I never got a six pack. So I'm like, what the fuck is? I don't need that. Ain't no point in me fucking trying to do this shit. Like, and plus, I'm not even take. I don't even take out my shirt like that. I don't even give a fuck about that. It's not like I'm fat or nothing. Like, so I'm just always been like my same size. So, like, what the fuck I need to lift weights for? Like, I'm not trying to impress nobody. I don't have daddy issues. I don't have childhood trauma issues. Like, I'm confident. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm like, I know who I am. Like, what the fuck? Can't nobody talk about me at all. Like, I've heard it all. I've I transmute energy. So when motherfuckers got to bring that negative energy, guess what? I use that shit and turn it positive for me. Like, so when I said I seen myself growing in the future, like I see like it's gonna be a lot of hate with that come with that too. So guess what? I'm gonna use all of that just to build up this platform. Because once again, it ain't about me. It's about positive minds only. It's a brand. Like, so in my comments, people like, hey, it says positive minds only, but this ain't positive. I'm like, nah, y'all made it fucking negative. Like, I didn't post nothing with the intentions of it being negative. Like, so motherfuckers be having it twisted. I'm like, I got a positive mind only, not y'all motherfuckers. That's what I need to say. Put positive instead of minds with an S. I need to put mind, me. So, cause motherfuckers is not like that. So. And I didn't expect to be attracting those type of people. Like, that's why I named it Positive Mind Only. Well, it was started with the YouTube, like, so, but overall, I'm like, I don't. I want it to be all positive. I want it to be, like, even the stories that I talk about on my podcast, they wasn't all positive, but they had a positive message in it. Like, so everything you go through life ain't gonna be like what you want it to be. It ain't gonna be all peaches and cream. Like, so I just felt like I could always look at the bright side of things. I always seen like a reason for why it happened. Like, so that's why I call it a positive mind only. Motherfucker, everybody else, I can't say that for them. Like, shit.
I will cast them like hay into the fire, and like lead into the water. Thus shall they burn in the presence of the righteous, and sink in the
But to
presence.
know now that like my brand has been seen by like millions of people. Like, I used to pray, like I ain't never, I ain't, let me stop lying. Like, I used to visualize like this back in the day. Like, I used to visualize me having millions of views, and now I'm having it. But to now know like my page has been seen by millions of people, like my brand is being seen by millions of people. In 2018, when I started the podcast, that's what I was hoping for my podcast, not YouTube. I was hoping that for. I mean, of course, I wanted to blow up my YouTube before, but it wasn't Positive Minds Only. I forgot what I had my YouTube was called at first. Like, but me changing it to Positive Mind Only, starting from like 2018 on up, like, it's what, dang, 4 years, right? So to finally get to this point, I've been putting in a lot of work and a lot of effort, but I've been taking a lot of breaks too. I've been inconsistent a lot, been procrastinating a lot. So now, slowly switching it up. I'm still being procrastinating on little things like clip it, shorten my videos. I mean, clip not shorten the video, but making clips out of the video. Like, I still need to do that. Like, before my channel do blow up and somebody be fucking getting paid off like clipping my shit, like they actually doing the work for doing it. So, I mean, if that was to happen, I'd probably have to hire that person. Like, hey, since you already doing it, hey, let's work together. Cause, hey, that's the type of person I am. Like, I want, and plus, I wouldn't even mind if somebody was sharing my clips. Like, that would just inspire me to make my own clips, but add different like titles and shit. Like, so that'll just motivate me to. It a lot of fire under me, and sometimes that's all you need is something to light a fire under you. So
Of the holy, nor shall a tenth part of them be found. But in the day of their trouble, the world shall obtain tranquility. In his presence shall they fall, and not be raised up again. Nor shall there be anyone to take them out of his hands. and to lift them up, for they have denied the Lord of spirits and his Messiah. The name of the Lord of spirits shall be blessed. Wisdom is poured forth like water, and glory fails not before him forever and ever. For potent is he in all the secrets of righteousness. But iniquity passes away like a shadow, and possesses not a fixed station. For the elect one stands before the Lord of spirits, and his glory is forever and ever, and his power from generation to generation. With
Who's the
him
elect one?
dwells the spirit of intellectual wisdom, the spirit of instruction and of power, and the spirit of those who sleep in righteousness.
Y'all quiet
He
tonight.
shall judge secret things. Nor shall any be able to utter a single word
But
before
I
him.
understand it.
For the elect one is in the presence of the Lord of
Y'all
spirits,
letting it
according to his own
I
pleasure.
appreciate y'all for helping me get my watch time. I was up.
Chapter 49. In those days the saints and the chosen shall undergo a change. The light of day shall rest upon them, and the splendor and glory of the saints shall be changed. In the day of trouble, evil shall be heaped up upon sinners. But the righteous shall triumph in the name of the Lord of spirits. Others shall be made to see that they must repent and forsake the works of their hands, and that glory awaits them not in the presence of the Lord of spirits, yet that by his name they may be saved. The Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for great is his mercy.
But why
And
he won't have compassion on the people who brought the angels, the 200 angels that had sex with the women and like had giants and shit? Why he don't show compassion for them? Why can he show compassion for humans and shit, sinners, but not for the ones that been like his road dog? I guess it's because like growing up with somebody, years knowing them, and then they crossing you over a female, because that's what it was. The 200 angels came down here and started having sex with bitches. I didn't mean to say bitches, but still, they came down here and started having sex with females. But God, the way he talked about them, he was saying they was defiled and shit. Like, so that's the energy. When I said bitches, that's because I was thinking how God must have said it. Like, man, you came down here fucking with these hoes, like, and now you can't even come back. Like, they was like, I don't give a fuck shit. It wasn't no hoes up there, no way. It was all dicks. Like, shit crazy. But still, I'm 100% sure I was probably one of those fallen angels. Because I had a real lust temptation problem for lifetimes. I'm telling you, lifetimes. Like, from having just being married to multiple women, or just sleeping around with multiple women, like, and not settling down. Like, well, I settled down and all the time, but sometimes like shit just didn't work out. Like, so now I've been finally able to like control that. Like, so I'm like, well, maybe God was seeing that I learned my lesson. Maybe it let me back in heaven, but nah, I'm good. Like I said, I feel like I already know what heaven is like. That ain't something that I'm trying to go back to. I'm trying to create my own heaven. Trying to get to the level where I'm the God that's created my own world, and not making people worship me, but I want people to worship themselves on like on the planet that I create. Everybody will worship themselves. Like, they'll be their own highest self. Like, so maybe I can do a better job than nah, I ain't gonna say that because my shit will probably start fucking up too.
righteousness is in his judgment, and in the presence of his glory. Nor in his judgment
Thank
shall
y'all for those
iniquity
likes
stand.
and getting those
He
likes
who
up. Really
repents
appreciate
not
it.
before him shall perish. Henceforward I will not have mercy on them, saith the Lord of spirits. Chapter 50. In those days shall the earth deliver up from her womb, and hell deliver up from hers that which it has received, and destruction shall restore that which it...
You know, my bad for keep pausing it, but still, you know what I was thinking. I thought I used to think as a child. It came back recently. I'm like, man, if I was a sinner my whole life, and just before I was about to die, I asked God to forgive me, would I make it into heaven? Like, do y'all think it'll work like that? Not me, God forsake, I don't plan on getting shot or speaking that into my life, but If somebody was on their deathbed, like something happened brutal, but they had just enough time to say, God, forgive me. But they've been fucking up their whole life. They've been murdering people their whole life. Motherfucking in the electric chair, but at the last minute, like, how does that count? Like, I don't know, but those aren't my beliefs. I believe if a motherfucker was fucking up their whole life, died, didn't, nothing happened to them, in their next life, they'll get all that back. All that fucked up shit that they put out into the world will come back on them. So that's what karma is, and karma follows you in each lifetime. It don't just hit your kids. Your kids got their own karma. It's just the same as yours. Like, so you think it's a generational curse? Nah, but y'all all the same type of motherfuckers who going through the same shit. So y'all working through this shit together. Like, so me having an understanding, family ain't really family. It's the family that you create and work. I'm like that. It's the ones that you create. And not saying you can create a family, but having babies is a way. But even when they get older, they're gonna go separate ways and they're gonna create their own families, but they won't be a part of my clan no more. Like, not to say they won't, we ain't gonna be cool no more, but they're gonna be on their own. Like, so I don't expect my children to, like, I ain't gonna kick my kids out when they turn 18. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. Like, but once they get their own family, once they learn, like, okay, once they think they got it, hey, by all means, gone. But I'm not gonna be like how I was kicked out at 17. Like, it was so many things that I didn't know, that I wasn't taught in my household. Like, that led me to my, I ain't gonna say to my demise, but it led me in the hole that I like put myself in my 20s. Like, so I didn't have that guidance or like no type of mentorship, none of that. Like, throughout that time, even when I was in the military, like, nobody was saying, "Hey, save your money because when you get out, you gonna go through this. You ain't gonna have nothing to fall back on. You gonna lose your car. You gonna lose your house. You gonna lose all of this." Like, well, I ain't lose my house, but I was in a rental, got evicted. Like, so if somebody had it told, if my higher self had told me what the fuck I was gonna go through, and I had to listen, he probably did tell me, just didn't listen. Always spending money, couldn't control it. Like, I wouldn't went through what I went through. Like, but it's certain other things that I wouldn't have did too if I had known as well. Like, so I supposed to go through what I had went through so I can have this story to tell. Like, if I didn't go through that, then we wouldn't be here having this conversation, or we'd be having a different conversation. Like, so.
Those he shall select the righteous and holy from among them, for the day of their salvation has approached. And in those days shall the elect one sit upon his throne, while every secret of intellectual wisdom shall proceed from his mouth. For the Lord of spirits has gifted and glorified him. In those days the mountains shall skip like rams, and the hills shall leap like young sheep satiated with milk, and all the righteous shall become angels in heaven. Their countenance shall be bright with joy, for in those days shall the elect one be exalted. The earth shall rejoice, the righteous shall inhabit it, and the elect possess it. Section 8, Chapter 51. After that period, in the place where I had seen every secret sight, I was snatched up in a whirlwind and carried off westwards. There my eyes beheld the secrets of heaven and all which existed on earth. A mountain of iron, a mountain of copper, a
Wait,
mountain of silver.
so God kicked the angels out for exposing the secrets of heaven, yet God gave, well, the angels gave Enoch the secrets to heaven, like, and he exposed it in a book. Like, he did the same thing the angels did. So was it okay? I guess, was it okay? Like, God was like, fuck it. I don't know. I want to tell my side of the story or something. Like, the angels probably was shitting on God after they got cursed out of heaven, like, started making up shit, lies and shit. So God probably had his own people to tell his side of the story. Shout out to Red Squid X coming through. Salute. Like, so God, that's why the Bible is here, because the angels was here first, and God was like, they had beef. Angels start sleeping with the women, having babies and shit. They telling stories about God. I mean, did they probably creating their own gods like Hercules and shit and Zeus? They probably telling stories like that. God, like, fuck that shit. I need my own people. So he started with Adam and Eve. They started fucking up. Cain and Abel fucked up. Well, Abel didn't, but Cain fucked up. Like, everybody was fucking up in God's creation. Like, who was the positive people? Abraham, he wasn't, he was a follower. He blindly followed something he didn't see. Like, so he wasn't truly a good person. How are you about to kill your son off for hearing a voice or something telling? Like, bro, that ain't fucking common sense. If you was to hear a fucking voice in your head today say, kill your son, sacrifice your son to me, you'd be like, what? Like, is that a God? Like, not to say talk about anybody's God, but when you listen to the or read the book with an open mind and like just ask these questions, like, man, this shit don't sound right. Like, so is it okay to sacrifice people? Like, is it okay for these celebrities to be sacrificed? For the simple fact, God was like, hey, sacrifice all of this shit. Like, for me, to bless me, to feed me, like, give me that energy. Like, so, I mean, these motherfuckers learn from, they got. Like, so.
A mountain of gold. A mountain of
And
fluid metal.
Not the Egyptian, but and the fucking Hebrew Israelites been selling their soul from the jump. Like, literally, they've been selling their soul from the jump. They've been sacrificing shit from the jump. Like, so, I don't know. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not down talking them, but I'm just saying, like, reading from this book, unless it's another Bible saying something different, then, like, I'm just going off what I grew up and, like, these was the questions that I had internally. But I just couldn't say nothing because I already got my ass whooped. Like, so, now I'm an adult. Like, who gonna whoop my ass? Is God gonna come strike me down for, like, talking about the Bible? Like, I don't think so. I done seen hella people say, God strike me down, put a needle in my eye if I'm lying, and they ass was lying their ass off. And I was a kid like, man, God ain't strike their ass down for lying? Like, or swearing to God? Like, people used to swear to God so much and I knew they was lying. I'm like, God, you ain't gonna fucking, like, do nothing? Like, motherfucker, like, that's why I'm like, this shit is kind of like a fairy tale. Just like Santa Claus was, just like Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny. Like, I'm gonna say Jesus was real because he came down here. He was here in the flesh, obviously. He wasn't white. Motherfucker was brown skinned. He probably wasn't black as me, but like overall, like shit, I'm pretty sure like he was here. Like, but he was able to manifest off his beliefs. But he still never had a one-on-one conversation with God. Like, why didn't Jesus talk to God like Enoch and like fucking Abraham, like quote unquote, or Moses? Moses talked to a burning bush. Like, but how do we know this was the God? Like, how do we know what who they was talking to was the like wasn't a demon or something? Like, how do you know that they ain't had like a good agenda? Because he wasn't telling them his agenda. He was just telling them, "Hey, do this," and they were like, "Oh, I ain't never heard no voice talk to me before. Oh, I ain't never seen no dream like this before. I might as well follow it." Like, so, and plus, God was rewarding them with women. He was saying, "Hey, I'm going to make your name known throughout generations. Just have sex with all the women." Like, so they was like, "Cool." If my beliefs was like that, and I'm like, if someone told me that, and like, then the women around me like believed it, and I'm like, what? Of course, that's why men love this shit. Like, that's why men like ain't giving up. I mean, that's why the Hebrew Israelites ain't giving up this book. This book is telling them to have multiple wives and fuck, like, just multiply your seed. Like, so most men are slaves to their dick. Like, so they gonna always fall that way. But I ain't one of them
A
people.
mountain of lead. And I inquired of the angel who went with me, saying, what are these things which in secret I behold? He said, all these things which thou beholdest shall be for the dominion of the Messiah, that he may command and be powerful upon earth. And that angel of peace answered me, saying, wait but a short time, and thou shalt understand, and every secret thing shall be revealed to thee. which the Lord of Spirits has decreed. Those mountains which thou hast seen, the mountain of iron, the mountain of copper, the mountain of silver, the mountain of gold, the mountain of fluid metal, and the mountain of lead, all these in the presence of the elect one shall be like a honeycomb before the fire, and like water descending from above these mountains, and shall become debilitated before his feet. In those days men shall not be saved by gold and by silver, nor shall they have it in their power to secure themselves and to fly. There shall be neither iron for war, nor a coat of mail for the breast. Copper shall be useless.
Really appreciate it.
Useless also that which neither rusts nor consumes away, and lead shall not be coveted. All these things shall
If
be
you are
rejected
here
and
in my
perish.
live right now and you know me personally, comment. I'm pretty sure there's people in here that know me personally, but they like just watching. I just want to see something. I want to see it if like y'all just gonna like, nope, I ain't gonna say shit. I don't want you to know I'm in here. Like I know my wife is in here, but if there's anybody that like, grew up with me, know me personally, comment.
From off the earth, when the elect one shall appear in the presence of the Lord of Spirits.
Bruh, Mr. Evers, tell me why I woke up and like Mace. If anybody was in my live a couple nights, I had mentioned Mace, the rapper, for some reason. But he ended up making a diss song against Diddy. He was exposing Diddy. And then some other shit got exposed where Megan Thee Stallion, I guess, something about to get exposed with her because Drake and Rihanna unfollow her. They're like just other shit, like different shit has been getting exposed because of this full moons. I'm like, oh shit, I should have prepared myself. But you can't control that shit. Like it's a full moon. Like so if that energy is exposing energy, like then motherfuckers gotta get exposed. Like well, some shit gotta get exposed. So that was something like I held on for years. That I'm like, it finally needs to come out. It was I was able to release it. That's what it felt like. I was able to release something that was holding on, and it was kind of negative. Like so, now I don't have that. Like, I'm good now. Like I ain't got nothing on my chest to hold on to. So I said what I said. So whatever the consequences come after that, like shit, ain't nobody go. Like it ain't gonna happen to me. I'm telling you, I got an army of like 10,000 spirits around me like that will fucking demolish any and everybody. Like so, just ask my enemies. Literally, just ask my enemies.
Chapter
They
52.
wouldn't even tell you they was my enemy.
There my
like,
eyes
nah,
beheld a
I
deep
ain't
valley, and wide was its entrance. All who dwell on land, on the sea, and in islands shall bring to it gifts, presents, and offerings. Yet that deep valley shall not be full. Their hands shall commit iniquity. Whatsoever they produce by labor, the sinners shall devour with crime. But they shall perish in front of the face of the Lord of Spirits, and from the face of his earth. They shall stand up and not fail forever and ever.
You know what's crazy? You just mentioned the full moon, Mr. Evers. You just mentioned the full moon. That motherfucker is its view is popping up again. Like that mug is coming. It's dark still. I ain't gonna see it. I can't see the comment.
I said you gonna see the comment.
Not on that side. But you no, on the other side. Yeah. They always come through with like but the full moon that mug just started popping up. It's literally rising up as we speaking. If I come just keep staring at it, that mug will be in its full view. Like so. That's why I brought my sage tonight.
Oh, you okay, roll up.
Like that's why I brought the sage in part 2 code. Like I don't know, like I said, I got everything off my chest. Like so, whatever is spoke tonight, like shit, it's gonna be triggered from this book, and like I ain't gonna. I said what I said, so like Somebody don't it. You know what? Something could be said tonight internally for somebody who's listening, and like they probably won't even comment, but it's gonna trigger something in them. Like that's how it'll work. It may not be nothing me exposing something, but I could say something that'll trigger somebody who's watching. I don't know what the fucking reaction gonna be off of that, but still, it'll be a good reaction, or it could be an epiphany or something, like something that can like change your life. Like, so what I did last night and what I talked about last night, that was like another, like a chapter of the ending. Like, so it worked out for me. But when I seen like that Mace, I, he was on his Instagram. Somebody had shared it on YouTube. Like, he was just going in, and he was just the song he dropped. Like Mace, anybody who know about Murder Mace, like was always like he was a beast. Like growing up, like and then he disappeared and he went to church, and then everybody laughed at him, talked about him, shitted on him. Like, so, but me now, like I kind of understand why he did that, because he was trying to get away from that devilish industry. Like, so did he? Like, he had to go the opposite route. Like, but he worked out in his favor. I'm pretty sure, man, that church, his church was packed every Sunday. So I said options, but fucking offering tithes and offering. What? Come on, dude. I'd rather. That's like going on a tour. He only got to do it what, once a week, twice a week. How much he probably bringing in? Like, how much do y'all think Mace was probably bringing in church? I'm thinking at least 100,000 a week. Like, so I'd have did that too instead of fucking performing on stage around. I'm not gonna speak negative on nobody because I don't know. I wasn't there. Like, if you wasn't there, you can't say, you really can't speak on it. So shit crazy.
Beheld the angels of punishment who were dwelling there and preparing every instrument of Satan. Then I inquired of the angel of peace who proceeded with me, for whom those instruments were prepared. He said, "These they are preparing for the kings and powerful ones of the earth, that thus they may perish. After which the righteous and chosen house of his congregation shall appear, thenceforward unchangeable in the name of the Lord of spirits. Nor shall those mountains exist in his presence as the earth, and the hills as the fountains of water exist. And the righteous shall be relieved from the vexation of sinners."
Motherfuckers is nosy as hell. Like, what is he doing?
Chapter 53. Then I looked, and turned myself to another part of the earth, where I beheld a deep valley burning with fire. To this valley they brought monarchs and the mighty. And there my eyes beheld the instruments which they were making, fetters of iron without weight. Then I inquired of the angel of peace, who proceeded with me, saying, "For whom are these fetters and instruments prepared?" He replied, "These are prepared for the host of Azazel, that they may be delivered over and adjudged to the lowest condemnation, and that their angels may be overwhelmed with hurled stones, as the Lord of spirits has commanded. Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel shall be strengthened in that day, and shall then cast them into a furnace of blazing fire, that the Lord of spirits may be avenged of them for their crimes, because they became ministers of Satan, and seduced those who dwell upon earth. In those days shall punishment go forth from the Lord of spirits, and the receptacles of water which are above the heavens shall be opened, and the fountains likewise which are under the heavens and under the earth. All the waters which are in the heavens and above them shall be mixed together. The water which is above heaven shall be the agent, and the water which is under the earth shall be the recipient, and all shall be destroyed who dwell upon earth, and who dwell under the extremities of heaven. By these means shall they understand the iniquity which they have committed on earth, and by these means shall they perish." Chapter 54. Afterwards the Ancient of Days repented and said, "In vain have I destroyed all the inhabitants of the earth." And he sware by his great name, saying, "Henceforward I will not act thus towards all who dwell upon earth. But I will place a sign in the heavens, and it shall be a faithful witness between me and them forever, as long as the days of heaven and earth last upon the earth." Afterwards, according to this my decree, when I shall be disposed to seize them beforehand, by the instrumentality of angels, in the day of affliction and trouble, my wrath and my punishment shall remain upon them. My punishment and my wrath, saith God, the Lord of spirits. O ye kings, O ye mighty, who inhabit the world, you shall behold my elect one, sitting upon the throne of my glory, and he shall judge Azazel, all his associates, and all his hosts, in the name of the Lord of spirits. There likewise I beheld hosts of angels, who were moving in punishment, confined in a network of iron and brass. Then I inquired of the angel of peace, who proceeded with me, to whom those under confinement were going. He said, To each of their elect and their beloved, that they may be cast into the fountains and deep recesses of the valley. And that valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved, the days of whose life shall be consumed, but the days of their error shall be innumerable. Then shall princes combine together and conspire. The chiefs of the east, among the Parthians and Medes, shall remove kings, in whom a spirit of perturbation shall enter. They shall hurl them from their thrones, springing as lions from their dens, and like famished wolves into the midst of the flock. They shall go up and tread upon the land of their elect. The land of their elect shall be before them, the threshing floor, the path, and the city of my righteous people shall impede the progress of their horses. They shall rise up to destroy each other. Their right hand shall be strengthened. Nor shall a man acknowledge his friend or his brother, nor the son his father and his mother, until the number of the dead bodies shall be completed by their death and punishment. Neither shall this take place without cause. In those days shall the mouth of hell be opened, into which they shall be immerged. Hell shall destroy and swallow up sinners from the face of the elect. Chapter 55. After this I beheld another army of chariots with men riding in them. And they came upon the wind from the east, from the west, and from the south. The sound of the noise of their chariots was heard. And when that agitation took place, the saints out of heaven perceived it. The pillar of the earth shook from its foundation, and the sound was heard from the extremities of the earth unto the extremities of heaven at the same time. Then they all fell down and worshipped the Lord of spirits. This is the end of the second parable.
See, a parable is just a story. This is not to be taken literal. Like, so everything that's being spoken right now is not like fact. Like, it's just like Jesus was about telling parables. Like, the story got a meaning to it. I don't know.
9. Chapter 56. I now began to utter the third parable concerning the saints and the elect. Blessed are ye, O saints and elect, for glorious is your lot. The saints shall exist in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of everlasting life, the days of whose life shall never terminate, nor shall the days of the saints be numbered, who seek for light and obtain righteousness with the Lord of spirits. Peace be to the saints with the Lord of the world. Henceforward shall the saints be told to seek in heaven the secrets of righteousness, the portion of faith. For like the sun has it risen upon the earth, while darkness has passed away. There shall be light interminable, nor shall they enter upon the enumeration of time. For darkness shall be previously destroyed, and light shall increase before the Lord of spirits. Before the Lord of spirits shall the light of uprightness increase forever. Chapter 57. In those days my eyes beheld the secrets of the lightnings, and the splendors, and the judgment belonging to them. They lighten for a blessing and for a curse, according to the will of the Lord of spirits. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, when it rattles above in heaven, and its sound is heard. The habitations also of the earth were shown to me. The sound of the thunder is for
Ain't no
peace
face
and for
reveal, but it's a
blessing,
thunder
as well
reveal.
as for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of Spirits. Afterwards, every secret of the splendors and of the lightnings was seen by me. For blessing and for fertility they lighten. Section 10, Chapter 58. In the 500th year, and in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month of the lifetime of Enoch, in that parable, I saw that the heaven of heavens shook, that it shook violently, and that the powers of the Most High and the angels, thousands of thousands, and myriads of myriads, were agitated with great agitation. And when I looked, the Ancient of Days was sitting on the throne of his glory, while the angels and saints were standing around him. A great trembling came upon me, and terror seized me. My loins were bowed down and loosened. My reins were dissolved, and I fell upon my face.
You
The
ain't lying.
holy
I feel that
Michael,
probably be the case.
another holy angel, one of the holy ones, was
Already
sent,
getting
who
enlightened and
raised
shit.
me up. And when he raised me, my spirit returned. For I was incapable of enduring this vision of violence, its agitation, and the concussion of heaven. Then holy Michael said to me, "Wherefore art thou disturbed at this vision? Hitherto has existed the day of mercy, and he has been merciful and long-suffering towards all who dwell upon the earth. But when the time shall come, then shall the power, the punishment, and the judgment take place, which the Lord of Spirits has prepared for those who prostrate themselves to the judgment of righteousness, for those who abjure that judgment, and for those who take his name in vain. That day has been prepared for the elect as a day of covenant, and for sinners as a day of inquisition. In that day shall be distributed for food 2 monsters, a female monster, whose name is Leviathan, dwelling in the depths of the sea, above the springs of waters, and a male monster, whose name is Behemoth, which possesses, moving on his breast, the invisible wilderness. His name was Dendayan, in the east of the garden, where the elect and the righteous will dwell, where he received it from my ancestor, who was man, from Adam, the first of men, whom the Lord of Spirits made. Then I asked of another angel to show me the power of those monsters, how they became separated on the same day, one being in the depths of the sea, and one in the dry desert. And he said, "Thou, son of man, art here desirous of understanding secret things." And the angel of peace who was with me said, "These 2 monsters are by the power of God prepared to become food, that the punishment of God may not be in vain. Then shall children be slain with their mothers, and sons with their fathers. And when the punishment of the Lord of Spirits shall continue, upon them shall it continue, that the punishment of the Lord of Spirits may not take place in vain. After that, judgment shall exist with mercy and long-suffering." Chapter 59. Then another angel who proceeded with me spoke to me, and showed me the first and last secrets in heaven above, and in the depths of the earth, in the extremities of heaven, and in the foundations of it, and in the receptacle of the winds.
Somebody
He showed
probably
me how
thinking, I wish I had came up with this idea. Just sit in my car, listen to a book, and smoke weed. You still can do it. Hey, there's probably not nobody thinking it right now, but probably somebody who watched this video later on, like, hey, I wish I'd have did that. Thought of that. You still can. Because you're going to think of some certain thoughts that I ain't going to think of. You're going to say what I ain't going to say. So, and you got your own opinion, so.
how their spirits were divided, how they were balanced, and how both the springs and the winds were numbered according to the force of their spirit. He showed me the power of the moon's light, that its power is a just one, as well as the divisions of the stars, according to their respective names, that every division is divided, that the lightning flashes, that its troops immediately obey, and that a cessation takes place during thunder in continuance of its sound. Nor are the thunder and the lightning separated, neither do both of them move with one spirit, yet are they not separated. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder sounds, and the spirit at a proper period pauses, making an equal division between them. For the receptacle upon which their periods depend is loose as sand. Each of them, at a proper season, is restrained with a bridle, and turned by the power of the Spirit, which thus propels them according to the spacious extent of the earth. The Spirit likewise of the sea is potent and strong, and as a strong power causes it to ebb, so it is driven forwards and scattered against the mountains of the earth. The spirit of the frost has its angel. In the spirit of hail there is a good angel. The spirit of snow ceases in its strength, and a solitary spirit is in it, which ascends from it like vapor, and is called refrigeration. The spirit also of mist dwells with them in their receptacle, but it has a receptacle to itself, for its progress is in splendor. In light and in darkness, in winter and in summer, its receptacle is bright, and an angel is in it. The spirit of dew has its abode in the extremities of heaven, in connection with the receptacle of rain, and its progress is in winter and in summer. The cloud produced by it and the cloud of the mist become united. One gives to the other. And when the spirit of rain is in motion,
over here trying to become the Messiah. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just getting epiphanies off this mug. I'm gaining some knowledge. I ain't no religious person, but love information. Love anything that can help me grow mentally. Like, and they got some good stories in here, so this should be off the wall. Like that's what it separates this guy from Zeus and them and Osiris Ra. They ain't got no book like this. Like they got stories, but they don't got no book explaining the stories like that. Like so, that's where he capitalized, getting people to tell his story for him. Where Zeus is like, I don't need no man to tell my story, and like I can tell my own story. That's why the stories still live on to today. That's why they got movies, and did not just one certain movies about Zeus. It's like 100 different storylines about Zeus, Hercules, like all of that shit. But why ain't got no different storylines about God? Like shit, this in the Bible is so many different storylines. Like, cause it would seem like it's contradicting. That's why, and that's what Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology, all of it is contradiction, because we are contradicting beings. Like we all contradict ourselves. No matter who you are, you gonna contradict yourself. Like so, that's why the Bible does it. That's why mythology does it, and that's why we do it. It's a part of this fucking earth. I don't know what the fuck it is.
From its receptacle, angels come, and opening its receptacle, bring it forth. When likewise it is sprinkled over all the earth, it forms a union with every kind of water on the ground. For the waters remain on the ground, because they afford nourishment to the earth from the Most High, who is in heaven. Upon this account, therefore, there is a regulation in the quantity of rain which the angels receive. These things I saw, all of them, even paradise.
Yeah, we read the Kabbalah on here.
Chapter 60. In those days I beheld long ropes given to those angels who took their wings and fled, advancing towards the north. And I inquired of the angels, saying, Wherefore have they taken those long ropes and gone forth? He said,
the Bible is what I grew up on. Like, so I'm not, like I said, I ain't no Christian today, but my whole life until I 25, I was Christian. But even then, I will always tell people I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual. Like, so I always knew internally I'm like the Bible was contradicting. I didn't like truly follow it like that. Like, so I'm like, man, it's more to it. I always knew it was more to the Bible, especially like the Book of Enoch. It was took out of the Bible. I at the time I didn't know what books was like missing, but I knew like it was more books than like what they said it was. Like, so knowing like it's hundreds of other fucking books that's missing and they're out there somewhere. Like the Book of Enoch is just one of them, and they all got different stories in it. Like somebody mentioned the other live, like where Jesus was a kid and like he was turning people into trees. Like, so I'm gonna try to do that one too. Like, so because I never read that book. Like, so I just gotta remember it. Well, I just gotta go back to the lives, but I gotta find which live it was. I'm pretty sure I researched it on Google, but I just forgot the name to like go back and see what it was. So
They are
it
gone
was
forth
about
to
the something with
measure.
Thomas,
The angel who
something
proceeded with me said,
Jesus and
These
Thomas.
are the
I don't know.
measures of the righteous, and cords shall the righteous bring, that they may trust in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. The elect shall begin to dwell with the elect. And these are the measures which shall be given to faith, and which shall strengthen the words of righteousness. These measures shall reveal all the secrets in the depth of the earth. And it shall be that those who have been destroyed in the desert, and who have been devoured
I
by the
live in
fish
the
of the
desert
sea,
too.
and by wild beasts, shall return, and trust in the day of the elect one. For none shall perish in the presence of the Lord of spirits, nor shall any be capable of perishing. Then they received the commandment, all who were in the heavens above, to whom a combined power, voice, and splendor, like fire, were given. And first, with their voice, they blessed him, they exalted him, they glorified him with wisdom, and ascribed to him wisdom with the word, and with the breath of life. Then the Lord of spirits, seated upon the throne of his glory, the elect one, who shall judge all the works of the holy in heaven above, and in a balance shall he weigh their actions. And when he shall lift up his countenance to judge their secret ways in the word of the name of the Lord of spirits, and their progress in the path of the righteous judgment of God Most High, they shall all speak with united voice, and bless, glorify, exalt, and praise in the name of the Lord of
Yeah,
spirits.
this ain't got nothing to do with the Bible, right? But this was just on my mind. Netflix, right? Netflix charging people extra fees if they got other people on a account. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think Netflix is making that's a good move for Netflix, or it's a bad move overall? Do you think people gonna be canceling their Netflix accounts because, or do you think the people who don't got account they're gonna finally get their own account? Like so, cause I'm invested in Netflix right now, so I'm like, just what are y'all thoughts on it? Cause I know like as an investor, I'm like, cool, like shit. If you gonna charge people extra, then like that means more money for Netflix. But if the shit backfire and the shit go backwards, like I'm like, do I need to buy a put in this bitch or what? Like so, what are y'all thoughts on like Netflix like making that move?
He shall call to every power of the heavens, to all the holy above, and to the power of God, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the Ophanim, all the angels of power, and all the angels of the Lords, namely of the elect one, and of the other power, who was upon earth over the water on that day, shall raise their united voice, shall bless, glorify, praise, and exalt with the spirit of faith, with the spirit of wisdom and patience, with the spirit of mercy, with the spirit of judgment and peace, and with the spirit of benevolence. All shall say with united voice, Blessed is he, and the name of the Lord of spirits shall be blessed forever and forever. All who sleep not shall bless it in heaven above. All the holy in heaven shall bless it, all the elect who dwell in the garden of life, and every spirit of light who is capable of blessing, glorifying, exalting, and praising thy holy name, and every mortal man, more than the powers of heaven, shall glorify and bless thy name forever and ever.
Fuck no, I'm not. That's not what I came here to do. That shit sounds fucking boring. Honest, honest ass opinion. Like that ain't some shit I want to do. I don't want to fucking bless a god for eternity. I don't want to worship a god for eternity. Don't give a fuck how good they make that shit sound. That's not what my soul wants. That's not what my spirit wants. And the damn sure ain't what my flesh wants. Like so, if anybody else that's the case, they cool with that. I'm not knocking that. But my beliefs and like what I like to do, like I like to travel and explore and be free. That sounds like some slave shit. Like so, once again, like I've experienced being a slave in a past life. That shit ain't cool, and it's probably because I had slaves when I was a king or pharaoh, some type shit. So I had to get that karma, so to understand that. Like so, now I'm like, fuck being a follower. I don't need followers. Hey, just live my life, grow, evolve spiritually, get that knowledge, move on.
For great is the mercy of the Lord of spirits. Long suffering is he, and all his works, all his power, great as are the things which he has done, has he revealed to the saints and to the elect, in the name of the Lord of spirits. Chapter 61. Thus the Lord commanded
Make
the
sure y'all hit
kings,
that
the
like button if you
princes,
haven't
the
already.
exalted,
Really
and those who
appreciate it.
dwell on earth, saying, Open your eyes and lift up your horns, if you are capable of comprehending the elect one. The Lord of spirits sat upon the throne of his glory, and the spirit of righteousness was poured out over him. The word of his mouth shall destroy all the sinners and all the
Whenever he
ungodly.
say he sat on his throne, where he be coming from before he sit on his throne? And if he like God Almighty and big, like if his angels and stuff around that can't look him in the face, or people that can't look him in the face, like how big is he? Like where is he coming from? Like he coming from the back to come sit on the throne. How big is the throne? Like these are things that's popping up in my mind. I'm like, Ken, why did you even think about that dumb shit? Like why? What does it matter, huh? But I'm like a person like I want to know the full thing. Like how is it? Like let me know, cause I got my own image, but like why they don't go into full details? Probably cause like I mean they went into details in the Bible about like just family generational names for like chapters and chapters of fucking and so begot so and so and so and so. Like man, what the fuck is the point of that? Like pointless, right? Like so, where do God be coming from? And we know there's multiple gods. It's mentioned plenty of times. Where's these guys at? Do they got heavens? Like, I mean, I know the answer. Yes, they do. Like, there's different worlds out there. Earth and heaven and hell ain't the only three places there is. Like so, as you can see, there's Mars, Jupiter, Venus. That shit is there too. Like, but the Bible mentions none of it. Like so, if it don't mention none of it, that means there's more to it than this book. Like so, I be trying to open people's eyes. Like, yeah, it's cool to read it, but when you read it, actually read it and like ask the questions like that you're supposed to be asking. Like, don't just be reading and like, it don't sound right, but I believe it. I'm a believer. I want to go to heaven when I die. Fuck that shit. You just gonna reincarnate and start that shit back over again. You're gonna be a follower and a believer in something blind that you don't know. Like so, me, I kind of sound like I'm a fallen angel because they was telling the secrets and they love women. Like, but I'm a good guy. Y'all see, I'm a positive person. Like, but God wants people to be followers. He wants them to be asleep. He don't wants to know. He don't want people to understand the difference between good and bad. And I get that part. Like, but yeah, like to worship and praise and bless for eternity. I couldn't even do that for 24 hours. Like, let alone like every day for the rest of my spirit's life. Like, I will rebel. I'll be one of them people that really like, fuck this shit. I'm tired. Fuck this. I'm out. Like that would have been me. Like that's how I know I'm probably like a fallen angel. Like, but it wasn't like because, like I'm just telling my side of the story. It wasn't because I didn't like God. I was like rebellious to God. I'm like I just got tired of doing the same thing every day, over and over and over. I get tired. Loops scare me. Like when I see myself doing the exact same thing, no difference in my day. Like now I see the progress because my YouTube channel is kind of blowing up. Like so that is constantly going up. It's not the same thing every single day. Like so, man, like I got tired of being in heaven. Like there's no women up there for you to like to sleep with and like love and caress and hold and like that's it's not up there. Like so when you get to heaven, don't expect your loved ones. You ain't even gonna recognize your loved one because it ain't gonna be your flesh. It's gonna be spirit. So some spirit ain't who you think it is. That's just how it be.
Who shall perish at his presence. In that day shall all the kings, the princes, the exalted, and those who possess the earth stand up, behold, and perceive that he is sitting on the throne of his glory, that before him the saints shall be judged in righteousness, and that nothing which shall be spoken before him shall be spoken in vain. Trouble shall come upon them, as upon a woman in travail, whose labor is severe when her child comes to the mouth of the womb, and she finds it difficult to bring forth. One portion of them shall look upon another. They shall be astonished, and shall humble their countenance. And trouble shall seize them, when they shall behold this Son of Woman sitting upon the throne of his glory. Then shall the kings, the princes, and all who possess the earth glorify him who has dominion over all things, him who was
I know somebody was
concealed.
thinking like, you got some trouble on your way. Nah, I returned to sender. I don't believe in this book. Like, this is not a literal book. Like, this can't put no curse on me. Like, I've outgrown that. I've out evolved that shit. My belief is not set in this. Like, that is your beliefs, and don't you believe no negative shit on me, because I will return that shit tenfold, hundredfold. Like, and people like, dang, why you stopping like say things? But the person who thinking those thoughts, just know, like, I'm low key a mind reader. People, you can't. What most people think they want somebody who quote unquote reads people's mind. Like, hey, what's on my mind? Like, it don't work like that. Like, somebody could just be randomly open minded, not trying to force nothing, and I'll pick up on it and then I'll speak on it. It's like I'm a channel. Like, literally, it's like I'm a channel. Like, in the thoughts that come through, and that was a negative thought that came through. Like, I just like, let me stop that. But in duality, you are a king somewhere at the branches of the tree, as deep as the root. Exactly. So the Bible was talking about kings, and like, I know I'm a king. Like, so when the Bible said the kings is like ain't gonna make it into heaven, like shit, he's talking about me. Like, so I'm cool with that. I've been here, like, I'm telling you, I've been reincarnated for a long time. Like, so that's the least thing that can happen. Me being born back on Earth, like starting over as a kid, probably being programmed, and have to wake myself back up. Like, that'll be the least of my issues, because if I can always come back to where I am now in life, this mentally, like, cool. I know how to operate through life now. Like, shit. And they say by the time you're 40, you'll experience everything that you will ever experience again in your life. Like, so I'm 32, and I feel like I'm 40 sometimes. Like, so I've seen a lot of shit. I've been a lot of places. Like, I did a lot of things. Like, so I know just to stay on the path that I'm on now is like just evolving. Like, just keep growing. Like, and that's what Earth is about. And that, but people take it for granted. People do not learn how they supposed to learn. They stop learning once they graduate from high school or college, and they think, oh, I don't need to learn no more. Education is all I need. No, you need spiritual knowledge. You need to know how to evolve your soul. You need to know how to let go of childhood trauma, not just childhood trauma, but things you went through as an adulthood. Like, you need to know, like, it's more to it than like what you see from your own perspective. Like, most people, uh, where they at in life is not where they want to be. That's even for myself as well. Like, yes, I'm in a great position, but for me knowing my potential, I know I could be way further in life. Like, I know I could be in a way better position, but it's not on me to like forcefully get myself to that position. Like, I just go with the flow. Like, literally, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I just go with the flow, and everything always falls into place. Like, literally, everything goes in my favor because I walk out on faith. Like, so in me, I'm not going out attacking religion. I'm not going out attacking God and nobody's beliefs. I'm just, like I said, I was raised in this religion. I was raised reading this book. Well, not the book of Enoch, but I was just raised in this. So me always reading certain stories and like, man, this don't add up. Like, something ain't clicking. And once I got over the blasphemy part, like questioning God, like, I'm like, man, oh, I ain't gonna get struck down. Like, man, and the worst thing, like I said, I know about my past lives. So I know there is no hell. I know there is no burning of eternity, like eternal flame, whatever. I mean, probably is, but that's not my belief. So why would I go there? I'm not doing anything wrong. Why do I need to confess my sins to someone that's not even my ancestor, or like that's not even my creator? Like, I don't have no sins. I don't do nothing dumb. I finally got to the point in my life where Sin is like, what the fuck? Why would I do some dumb shit? I'm a dad. I believe in karma. I believe in the universe. Like, what the fuck would I intentionally do harm anybody for? Like, or try to make someone look bad? Like, that's not my intention. Like, even what I talked about yesterday, like, that wasn't my intentions to talk about that, but it was on my heart to talk about. So, that was positive for me because I was finally able to release something that I've been holding on for years. Most people hold on for shit and it slowly just drags them down. Like it slows them down tremendously so they don't let it go. Me, I've let all the. It's probably still some shit that I'm kind of holding on. But the simple fact, I feel tense right now. So don't mind me, but I'm about to take a few deep breaths. And if you're listening or watching this video right now, like I'll like take these deep breaths with me, like so I can kind of relax and like chill. Like, and if somebody come in and they be like, "What the fuck you doing?" Closing his eyes, taking deep breaths, like just put it in the comments, like, "Hey, I'm taking a deep breath," like, cause I'm tense right now. So gotta loosen up, right? All right, cool. Like now I feel like more loose and stuff. Like, now we can get back to it. Listen.
For from the beginning the Son of Man existed in secret, whom the Most High preserved in the presence of his power, and revealed to the elect. He shall sow the congregation of the saints and of the elect, and all the elect shall stand before him in that day. All the kings, the princes, the exalted, and those who rule over the earth shall fall down on their faces before him, and shall worship him. They shall fix their hopes on this Son of Man, shall pray to him, and petition him for mercy. Then shall the Lord of spirits hasten to expel them from his presence. Their faces shall be full of confusion, and their faces shall darkness cover. The angels shall take them to punishment, that vengeance may be inflicted on those who have oppressed his children and his elect. And they shall become an example to the saints and to his elect. Through them shall these be made joyful, for the anger of the Lord of spirits shall rest upon them. Then the sword of the Lord of spirits shall be drunk with their blood. But the saints and the elect shall be safe in that day, nor the face of the sinners and the ungodly shall they thenceforwards behold. The Lord of spirits shall remain over them, and with this Son of Man shall they dwell, eat, lie down, and rise up, forever and ever. The saints and the elect have arisen from the earth, have left off to depress their countenances, and have been clothed with the garment of life. That garment of life is with the Lord of spirits, in whose presence your garment shall not wax old,
People
nor shall
will
your glory
like
diminish.
see you doing something like a recording or something, even out in public, and they'll potentially like intentionally try to see what you're doing, like see what's going on. I'm like, motherfucker, mind your business before you trip over your fucking feet. Well, why
Chapter
is that again?
62.
Like, man.
In those days the kings who possess the earth shall be punished by the angels of his wrath, wheresoever they shall be delivered up, that he may give rest for a short period, and that they may fall down and worship before the Lord of spirits, confessing their sins before him. They shall bless and glorify the Lord of spirits, saying, Blessed is the Lord of spirits, the Lord of kings, the Lord of princes, the Lord of the rich, the Lord of glory, and the Lord of wisdom. He shall enlighten every secret thing. Thy power is from generation to generation, and thy glory forever and ever. Deep are all thy secrets, and numberless, and thy righteousness cannot be computed. Now we know that we should glorify and bless the Lord of kings, him who is king over all things. They shall also say, Who has granted us rest to glorify, laud, bless, and confess in the presence of his glory? And now small is the rest we desire, but we do not find it. We reject and do not possess it. Light has passed away from before us, and darkness has covered our thrones forever. For we have not confessed before him. We have not glorified the name of the Lord of Kings. We have not glorified the Lord in all his works, but we have trusted in the scepter of our dominion and of our glory. In the day of our suffering and of our trouble, he will not save us, neither shall we find rest. We confess that our Lord is faithful in all his works, in all his judgments, and in his righteousness. In his judgments he pays no respect to persons. We must depart from his presence on account of our
He
evil
paid no
deeds.
respect to person.
All
No
our
respect,
sins
no
are
man.
truly without number. Then shall they say to themselves, our souls are satiated with the instruments of crime, but that prevents us not from descending to the flaming womb of hell. Afterwards their countenances shall be filled with darkness and confusion before the Son of Man, from whose presence they shall be expelled, and before whom the sword shall remain to expel them. Thus saith the Lord of spirits, this is the decree and the judgment against the princes, the kings, the exalted, and those who possess the earth, in the presence of the Lord of spirits.
God wants you to be like a nobody on his planet. Like if you get exalted, meaning like a celebrity wise, raised in a high position, looked at like gain a lot of possessions on this earth, a lot of money, like that he don't want that. He don't want his people to be wealthy and rich. He wants you to be to get that when you die and go to heaven. But if you hear who God is, he's very picky about who gets into heaven. I'm pretty sure 95, probably 98% of the people who come on this planet that are Christians die are sinners still. Like no matter what, they died and they was a sinner. So God like, oh, nope, your name is not in the book. So what is it, the book of Lamb? Like, so guess where you gotta go if your belief is this belief, but you're saved because guess what? There is no heaven or hell. And if it is a heaven, like you get multiple chances to try to get there. Like you don't just get one chance. Like so, lucky you.
Chapter 63. I saw also other countenances in that secret place. I heard the voice of an angel saying, these are the angels who have descended from heaven to earth, and have
Make sure you
revealed
hit that like
secrets to
button
the
if you
sons
haven't
of men,
already. Really
and have
appreciate it.
seduced the sons of men to the commission of sin.
Like that blunt if you haven't already.
Section 11, Chapter 64.
You said without sin, how would you know what is right? They have to coexist to function. But what if there is no right or wrong? Hey, shout out within equals without. Like who says there needs to be the right or wrong? For one, we all gonna die. For one, we all got. I mean, for two, we all got karma. Like in the lifetimes that you've lived in your own life, you've probably been here probably like 100 times already, just reincarnated off the rip 100 times. And I'm speaking like all spirituality only. I'm not including the Bible. Like so, in your lifetime, you've done bad, you've done good, but you didn't go to heaven or hell. You just came back here to learn your lesson. Like until you learn all the karma, because I can assure you, Jerome Isaac, like there's something in your life, whether you believe you are a sinner, whether you believe, I mean, not a sinner, but whether you believe you're a saint, whether you believe you, if you was to die today, you'll go to heaven. Like there's something in your life that you know if there was a God to judge you on that, you probably wouldn't make it. You probably ask God to forgive you multiple times for it, but something like you still are a slave to whatever that is. Like so, knowing that and knowing if you was to die today with that, whatever it is in you, like so my beliefs is to let you know you don't have to like you don't gotta be afraid to die and go to hell. Like it's cool. Like I'm telling you. People who die, get killed, murdered, raped, it's all karma. All of that shit is karma. No matter what age you are, baby, young adult, teenage, it's all karma. Racist, all karma. Like white people that hate black people, guess what? They experienced that shit in the past life. So guess what? They just returning that energy. Like so, it's meant for everything on this planet to work that way. Most people just get caught up in a karma. Like the fallen angels, they got caught up in karma by sleeping with women and creating children. Creating children is a way to cause karma. Well, me, I got 7 kids. My karma is I'm still kind of like I said yesterday. I'm detached. Like even though I raised 6 kids, I have 6 kids in my house. My biological kids, it was one of my stepchildren, and my oldest lives with his mom. Like I talk to him every day. Like take care of him like as much as I can. Like I'm still detached from him. Like so if I was to go, I let them know every day. Like I'm not gonna be here every day. Like I'm not gonna be here forever. So you have to be able. You gotta enjoy this moment now. Like just vice versa. If my kids was to pass away, I gotta be able to move on. Like, cause one of us is gonna go for it. Like I got 7 kids. Like one, you are. I can't get caught up on life when I know death is the next step. I'll be jealous. To be honest with you, I'll be jealous if my kids was to go before me. I'll be mad. But I don't need outer judgment, for we all know the beginning and we all play a role of the frequency which change through time for your mind. I see you trying to. I hope you didn't get offended by saying you got something like a little sin that you're not dealing with. But nah, that wasn't my intention. But so it wasn't my intentions to judge you. But I'm just saying, like, my whole thing is people believe that when they die, they going to hell. Off the rip, they life is not of a saint's life. Like that's why they don't read the book that much. It's like breathing; it happens without a doubt. With sin, that shit happen without a doubt. Negative thoughts happen without a doubt. Like people don't understand. Sin is thinking negative, not living in your true purpose, not knowing who you are, like just being a follower. It's just that's sin. It ain't. I'm telling you, killing someone that's fucked up. It's bad, but it's karma. Like that person probably killed somebody in their past life or in this life. Like you never know. Like so, you never can just look at it from an outside perspective or a human perspective. Like I'm telling you, everything happened for a reason. I got lifetimes like where everything in one lifetime I was this way, and then like in the next life I was the opposite. Literally, it just always being the opposite because it was showing like there was karma that I had to clear up, and there was things that I thought, ways that I was that I had to change, like to evolve to who I am now. Like so, now I'm in my best version. And some can cast me to hell, yet you can believe it. Yeah, I don't believe you'll go to hell. I don't believe that. Like for you to be like your level of intelligence, I don't believe you'll go to hell because I don't believe in hell. Like so, but you will reincarnate if you don't know there's more out there. Like, and that's where people get it messed up. Like so, like it don't matter how spiritual you are. If you don't know there's more out there, your mind won't let you go there. Like you'll be stuck reincarnating because that's all most people know is Earth. That's what they're used to, Earth. Like so, no matter if you believe in reincarnation or not, it's real, and it don't just happen for certain people. It happens for everybody. Like so, me knowing that, I'm like, oh, I try to stay away from people because I don't want to like gain no type of karma like just dealing with that person because I know a lot of times when people meet me, they'll love me at first, but then like just dealing with me every day, they'll start to hate me. Like so, for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't change up. I just continue to evolve and keep going. Like, but certain people is like it's always it's cool, but that's not a lot. Spiritual DNA alters karma as well. Only way you can alter your karma is by clearing up. Like so, my last lifetime, I got killed. Somebody poisoned me through alcohol. I'm not going. I'm not. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not killing anybody. I haven't killed nobody. Like so, that's the way of like me clearing my karma. Cause I didn't kill nobody with my last one, my last lifetime. But in the lifetime before that, I murdered like hella people. Like so, it was like I had to clear. When I died last time, I was murdered with poison. It took 3 days, like, agony and pain and suffering. Like so, I wasn't able to just get shot one time and like just die and like, oh, that'll be my karma. No, I had to pay for it. I lost so many people in my last lifetime. Like I lost one wife, like my first wife who I married, I lost her. My mom, she wasn't in my life, so I didn't lose her, but never had her. Like so, it's things like I lost because of what I did in previous lifetimes. So this lifetime, I'm on the straight and narrow. Like I'm not trying to cause any more fucked up karma. Like so, that's why I said like I ain't even like trying to be here that long off the strength of like just how Earth is, like how people is. Like I'd rather get this shit out the way. Like, hey, it's time. Let's go. So, do you believe in Dharma? It's karma through a person's work toward it. Is that what the Indians believe in? Dharma? I think it's spelled different though. But what they I think what you're trying. I mean, I'm not 100% sure this is that, but when they believe in reincarnation, but they believe in whatever they're born into. That's what they supposed to do their whole life. Like, no, I don't believe in that. Like, so I believe in evolving and growing. Like, so you're not supposed to stay one way your whole life. Like, that's what keeps you stuck. Yes, natives. Yeah, so like they believe in reincarnation, but that's what keeps you in the same position. My whole thing is to evolve, clear your karma, and then get out of here. Like so, but I'm not saying they're wrong because if their job is to like shovel poop, and most of their job is, what was they doing in their past life where they deserve that karma? So that could be the karma, a whole lifetime of shoveling shit. Like so, yeah, like dharma is real, honestly, but I didn't get caught in that dharma. Like I'm only clearing. I have had to clear up my karma. Like I don't have to do one thing my whole life. Like so, that sucks though. What I came back as a.
In those days, Noah saw.
You said if you came back as a glut, what is that? What is AGLET? I don't know what that is. Should I research it? But you can't. You ain't gonna. As a human, a shoelace holder. Hey, if you come back as that, then like shit, it was like you didn't give respect. Like you didn't respect the smallest person. Like you didn't respect the janitor. You thought you that's what you would be like. Shit, that's exactly what that is. That's about respect. You didn't show the respect. You didn't give the respect that you got. I mean that you had. So I respect everybody. I treat everyone as equal, whether it's the CEO, whether it's the janitor. I'm always give respect. So someone who's the CEO but looks down on a janitor, guess what? He'll be in his next lifetime, the janitor or something of that nature. Like that's just how it works. Like so. But he can evolve out of that. If he learns his lesson at a young age, why do I have to stay doing something if I learn my lesson? That's what karma is. Like you once you learn your lesson, you get to move on to the next step. Dharma is you don't I guess they don't learn their lessons, so they do it their whole life. Like so, I'm not. That's hey, I ain't that bad. Hitler probably got dharma, like where he fucked up so bad the next lifetime he came in, like he was suffering his whole life, like suffer, and not just that lifetime because he did a lot of shit, and not just him. Like it's a bunch of people in history who did fucked up shit, but over time when you think about why did they do that? Was they meant to do it? Do they get karma from it? Damn, it's a lot of endless. It is, man. But like I said, you can't really judge a person and say they evil because you never know like what their mission on this planet was. Because the way Hitler executed, no, I'm not saying he. Let me not even say that, but I'm not saying nothing was meant. I fuck with my Jews, my Jewish people. Well, I'm not gonna say what Hitler did was the right thing, but I know Hitler got karma for it. Like I know he had to come back in, but he didn't go to hell for it. He wasn't burned in eternity, because I'm pretty sure he didn't even believe in that. So nobody can't say they don't believe in reincarnation, because it's real. Like certain people get to come here and do it once, and they like Jesus. That was the guy. Jesus was the one who didn't like incur no karma. But honestly, did he? Like, did Jesus reincarnate again because he got some type of karma? Turning people into trees, like, I mean, what kind of karma would you get from that shit? But that was a child, so that's different. Jesus had an anger issue, low key. Now that I think about it, Jesus had a low key anger issue, so he probably had to come back and deal with his anger. You never know.
That the earth became inclined and that destruction approached. Then he lifted up his feet and went to the ends of the earth, to the dwelling of his great-grandfather, Enoch. And Noah cried with a bitter voice, "Hear me, hear me, hear me," 3 times. And he said, "Tell me what is transacting upon earth, for the earth labors and is violently shaken. Surely I shall perish with it." After this there was a great perturbation on earth, and a voice was heard from heaven. I fell down on my face when my great-grandfather Enoch came and stood by me. He said to me, "Why hast thou cried out to me with a bitter cry and lamentation? A commandment has gone forth from the Lord against
So
those who
Enoch
dwell on
came
the
back
earth,
like this, some
that they may
ancestral
be
stuff.
destroyed. For they know every secret of the angels, every oppressive and secret power of the devils, and every power of those who commit sorcery, as well as of those who make molten images in the whole earth. They know how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how on the earth the metallic drop exists. For lead and tin are not produced from earth as the primary fountain of their production. There is an angel standing upon it, and that angel struggles to prevail. Afterwards, my great-grandfather Enoch seized me with his hand, raising me up and saying to me, "Go, for I have asked the Lord of spirits respecting this perturbation of the earth," who replied, "On account of their impiety have their innumerable judgments been consummated before me. Respecting the moons have they inquired, and they have known that the earth will perish with those who dwell upon it, and that to these there will be no place of refuge forever. They have discovered secrets, and they are those who have been judged, but not thou, my son. The Lord of spirits knows that thou art pure and good, free from the
Man,
reproach of
that's
discovering
why
secrets."
the book of Enoch was took out low key. It's saying those who got information, wisdom, knowledge, those who are successful, gonna die, go to hell. Don't nobody wanna like that's scary. Like that's like making people wanna be poor. Like it's scaring making people fearful of success. That's why most Christians aren't successful. That's why the church is full of the same type of individual, because religion wants you to be poor. Like I can't. I ain't about to be like on my Facebook saying, "Hey, y'all ain't successful and rich because your religion tells you not to." But low key, that's the truth. Like, and I'm successful because I don't have this belief. Like that's what's blocking a lot of people, their religion. Like that's why they can't be successful. Like so now, but if you successful, you got money, like, and you religious, I'm talking about the success. I'm talking about is like a different level of success. Is that why my life is so difficult? Yes, like cause you want to low key, you want to be successful, you want to be wealthy and rich, but at the same time, your beliefs because of how you was raised is like, dang, money is evil, money is the root of all evil. I can't like, dang, I want to die to go to heaven, like so, yeah, it's kind of contradicting and like, you probably trying to work towards it, but ain't nothing going in your favor off the simple fact of like your core beliefs and like it ain't really your core beliefs. It was what you was programmed to believe. Like so, we could always change that way of thinking. Like it ain't something that can't be fixed. You just gotta want to fix it.
He, the Holy One, will establish thy name in the midst of the saints, and will preserve thee from those who dwell upon the earth. He will establish thy seed in righteousness, with dominion and great glory, and from thy seed shall spring forth righteous and holy men without number forever. Chapter 65. After this he showed me the angels of punishment, who were prepared to come, and to open all the mighty waters under the earth, that they may be for judgment, and for the destruction of all those who remain, and dwell upon the earth. And the Lord of spirits commanded the angels who went forth not to take up the men and preserve them, for those angels presided over all the mighty waters.
Hit that like
Then
button
I
if
went
you
out
haven't
from the
already.
presence of
Really
Enoch.
appreciate it.
Chapter 66. In those days the word of God came to me and said, Noah, behold, thy lot has ascended up to me, a lot void of crime, a lot beloved and upright. Now then shall the angels labor at the trees, but when they proceed to this, I will put my hand upon it and preserve it. The seed of life shall arise from it, and a change shall take place, that the dry land may not be left empty. I will establish thy seed before me forever and ever, and the seed of those who dwell with thee on the surface of the earth. It shall be blessed and multiplied in the presence of the earth, in the name of the Lord. And they shall confine those angels who disclosed impiety. In that burning valley it is that they shall be confined, which at first my great-grandfather Enoch showed me in the west, where there were mountains of gold and silver, of iron, of fluid metal, and of tin. I beheld that valley in which there was great perturbation, and where the waters were troubled. And when all this was effected from the fluid mass of fire, and the perturbation which prevailed in that place, there arose a strong smell of sulfur, which became mixed with the waters, and the valley of the angels who had been guilty of seduction burned underneath its soil. Through that valley also rivers of fire were flowing, to which those angels shall be condemned who seduced the inhabitants of the earth. And in those days shall these waters be to kings, to princes, to the exalted, and to the inhabitants of the earth, for the healing of the soul and body, and for the judgment of the spirit. Their spirits shall be full of revelry, that they may be judged in their bodies, because they have denied the Lord of spirits. And although they perceive their condemnation day by day, they believe not in his name. And as the inflammation of their bodies shall be great, so shall their spirits undergo a change forever. For no word which is uttered before the Lord of spirits shall be in vain. Judgment has come upon them, because they trusted in their carnal revelry, and denied the Lord of spirits. In those days shall the waters of that valley be changed, for when the angels shall be judged, then shall the heat of those springs of water experience an alteration. And when the angels shall ascend, the waters of the springs shall again undergo a change, and be frozen. Then I heard holy Michael answering and saying, This judgment, with which the angels shall be judged, shall bear testimony against the kings, the princes, and those who possess the earth. For these waters of judgment shall be for their healing, and for the death of their bodies. But they shall not perceive and believe that the waters will be changed, and become a fire, which shall blaze forever. Chapter 67. After this he gave me the characteristical marks of all the secret things in the book of my great-grandfather Enoch, and in the parables which had been given to him, inserting them for me among the words of the book of parables. At that time holy Michael answered and said to Raphael, The power of the Spirit hurries me away and impels me on. The severity of the judgment, of the secret judgment of the angels, who is capable of beholding? The endurance of that severe judgment which has taken place and been made permanent, without being melted at the sight of it. Again holy Michael answered and said to holy Raphael, Who is there whose heart is not softened by it, and whose reins are not troubled at this thing? Judgment has gone forth against them by those who have thus dragged them away. And that was when they stood in the presence of the Lord of spirits. In like manner also, holy
Sound
Raphael
like a court
said
and
to
the bailiff
Raphael,
taking your ass to jail.
they shall not be before the eye of the Lord, since the Lord of spirits has been offended with them. For like lords they have conducted themselves. Therefore he will bring upon them a secret judgment forever and ever. For neither shall angel nor man receive a portion of it, but they alone shall receive their own judgment forever and ever.
Let's see.
Chapter 68.
Scared to think about.
After this judgment,
It's crazy to just think about what they're saying, because you think how good I've been in this world through my life. Just seeing like I'm not. Exactly. That's the things that was making me feel like what is not fair. Like literally, it is not fair. Like, but I let go of those beliefs. It was all a belief. Like it's belief is something you don't know feel like truly, but it is like just what you've been told. That's your belief. Like so, I was having those same type of feel like, man, I'm doing everything I can, but yet to know if I was to die, I'd go to hell. Like that ain't fucking fair. Like and then nothing's fair on earth, right? Like so now I don't have that fucking problem. Like so you don't have to have that problem either. Like you good. Like there is telling all you gotta do is believe like your mind could take you wherever you want to go. If you want to reincarnate again, like start over, like, hey, you can do that. Like shit, but you don't. You can create your own heaven. I told people to watch a movie "When Dreams May Come True" by Robin Williams. You can create your own heaven when you die. Like it's that simple. That's what this guy did. He just created another world. Like he, I ain't even gonna say nothing.
they
Like
shall be astonished.
what it is, it's like the ancestor coming to me and saying, "Hey, if you do exactly what I say, you'll have everything you want in your life. You have in your generation, your name will live on forever." Like I have no clue that this ancestor is actually there, but I've heard it. I have dreams about it. Like I've followed the intuition. I followed the ancestors and it got me where I wanted. It's the same thing as God. Like what he did to Abraham, what he did to Moses, what he did to Noah, what he did to Enoch. They didn't see him physically. It was a belief. Like they believed it. They had faith. That's what it's about. Do you really have faith? Like so me, I got faith in what I got going on and it's working as you can see. So
And irritated, for it shall be exhibited to the inhabitants of the earth. Behold the names of those angels. These are their names. The first of them is Samyaza, the second, Arstikapha, the third, Armin, the fourth, Kakabael, the fifth, Terel, the sixth, Rumiel, the seventh, Daniel, the eighth, Kael, the ninth, Barakel, the 10th, Azazel, the 11th,
those the ones that
Armors,
fucked up.
the 12th, Batariel, the 13th, Azazel, the 14th, Ananel, the 15th, Turiel, the 16th, Semapazel, the 17th, Yetarel, the 18th, Tumael, the 19th, Tarel, the 20th, Rumel, the 21st, Azazel. These are the chiefs of their angels, and the names of the leaders of their hundreds, and the leaders of their 50s, and the leaders of their 10s. The name of the first is Yakun. He it was who seduced all the sons of the holy angels, and causing them to descend on earth, led astray the offspring of men.
Oh, so it wasn't Lucifer.
The name of the
who did
second
it.
is Kasabel, who pointed out evil counsel to the sons of the holy angels, and induced them to corrupt their bodies by
So it wasn't Lucifer who was the first like angel who like rebelled. Literally, it was that whatever the fuck his name was. Like, do I need to like rewind it so we can hear it again? I do that.
Azazel. These are the chiefs of their angels, and the names of the leaders of their hundreds, and the leaders of their 50s, and the leaders of their 10s. The name of the first is Yakun.
Yakun.
He it was who seduced all the sons of the holy angels, and causing them to descend on earth, led astray the offspring of men. The name of the second is Casable, who pointed out evil counsel to the sons of the holy angels, and induced them to corrupt their bodies by
Or
generating...
Lucifer probably did it first, and they probably like, fuck it, I'm gonna go down there too with his ass. Like, they probably seen Lucifer was having fun and shit, doing whatever the fuck he wanted to, sleeping with women and shit, like, having a great time. Like, so they're like, shit, I want to do that too. Came down here, had a blast, had children who were giants and things. God said, fuck all that, I'm about to destroy this shit. Y'all think y'all gonna disrespect me? God, I seem like Denzel Washington in Training Day. That's all I who's running through my mind right now. Training Day. Like, so God wiped that shit out. But look at it now, like it's still evil running around, like it's still badness in the world. There's nothing positive really going on. Like, so what really changed? What did really God destroy like that didn't come back? Even evil is still here just as well it was thousands of years ago. Like, so he may have accomplished wiping like the giants out, but it's still like giants out there. Like, it's still motherfuckers tall as shit out there. Like, so they probably ain't devouring the world, but shit, you got Bigfoot out that motherfucker. You don't know what the fuck going on. I mean, there's hella shit out there. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
mankind. The name of the third is Gadriel. He discovered every stroke of death to the children of men.
Oh, he
He
told people how
seduced
to die.
Eve and discovered to the children of men the
He deceased
instruments
Eve?
of death,
Wait,
the coat of mail,
he said he seduced Eve.
and causing them to descend on earth, led astray the offspring of men. The name of the second is Casable, who pointed out evil counsel to the sons of the holy angels, and induced them to corrupt their bodies by generating mankind. The name of the third is Gadriel. He discovered every stroke of death to the children of men. He seduced Eve and discovered to the children of men the instruments of death.
So it wasn't Satan who seduced Eve. It was another motherfucker. Do you see how? Man, that's why we gotta watch the show Lucifer. Like, literally, that's why we gotta watch Lucifer, because that's why they took out the book of Enoch. It contradicts what Genesis says. Like, that, it can't be that, because people are like, wait, what? It don't make sense. Like, it wasn't Lucifer who seduced it. Man, my bad, Lucifer. I had you all fucked up. You just wanted, you know what it was? Lucifer, low key, Lucifer seeing God, he wants to be exactly like God. That's what it was. God seeing his potential, Lucifer potential. He like, what? You want to be like me? You could be like me on Earth. Like, and kicked him out. Lucifer ain't do shit. Like, he ain't do nothing. Now that I think about it, it's the other people, the other angels who seduced Eve and like told man about evil and shit. Like, what the fuck? Lucifer ain't did shit. Damn, got everybody hating on him and shit. And these motherfuckers name known. Their names ain't even known. You've never heard of these fucking angels' names. Who's the one who was seducing Eve and all this bullshit? Like, that's fucked up. Low key, that's fucked up.
The coat of mail, the shield, and the sword for slaughter. Every instrument of death to the children of men. From his hand were these things derived to them who dwell upon earth from that period forever.
All right, I noticed something that they've been saying. Like, they've been saying the children of man, and they've been saying the son of man. And the son of man, it seemed like they regard to like angels and stuff, and like the children of man is like the humans. I'm trying to think, like, okay, is man God, right? Like, cause find out he's talking, taking the rap. Probably is.
The fourth is Penemue.
He like,
He discovered
it probably ain't in his friends, low key. He probably don't even fuck with him. Like, as soon as I said that, I heard something drop. He probably don't even fuck with these niggas. Cause like they making him look bad. I ain't taking a rap for nobody. Like what the fuck? What I need to take the rap for? Like these motherfuckers, like they doing that shit on their own. It's 200 of them. Why I gotta take the blame for? And they all doing certain things. One giving man knowledge, the other seducing Eve. Like he sleep with another nigga wife. Like low key. Like God placed. Why did God place Adam and Eve down here on Earth if He knew that who what was down here? He knew they was down here. Why would you place them in a like? You knew they was gonna fold. You knew Eve was gonna fold. He was just playing games, like literally playing games. This shit is fucking hilarious. Now that I think about it, but this is people's beliefs. It's not my beliefs. Once again, this is not my beliefs, but somebody else's it is. But they haven't read the Bible like this. How could you say you're a Christian if you never read the book of Enoch? Like, even, and you know they took books out of the Bible. Why haven't you looked for those books? Like, all you got to do is Google it and then say, "What's the missing books of the Bible?" And it's gonna point you into a direction where you can find those books. So, me, I'm not a Christian, but I love to read. I love the stories, the knowledge. Hey, I'm gaining a lot of information, like off the strength of me doing this book series. Like so, it's doing a lot for me. I don't know what it's doing for y'all though. I'm learning a lot of shit tonight.
The children of men bitterness and sweetness, and pointed out to them every secret of their
This
wisdom.
is kind of sweet.
He taught men to understand writing and the use of ink and paper. Therefore, numerous have been those who have gone astray from every period of the world, even to this day. For men were not born for this, thus with pen and with ink, to confirm their faith, since they were not created except that, like the angels, they might remain righteous and pure. Nor would death, which destroys everything, have affected them.
Shout out to you for coming.
But by this, their knowledge, they perish.
You bound
And
to
by
make
this
it back,
also,
'cause I'm
its
here every
power
night,
consumes
so-
them.
Shit.
The name of the fifth is
But lucky I
Kashyyyk.
didn't get off early.
He
though.
discovered to the children of men every wicked stroke of spirits and of demons. The stroke of the embryo in the womb to diminish it. The stroke of the spirit by the bite of the serpent. And the stroke which is given in the midday by the offspring of the serpent, the name of which is Tabayet. This is the number of the Kesbo, the principal part of the oath which the Most High, dwelling in glory, revealed to the holy ones. Its name is Becca. He spoke to holy Michael to discover to them the sacred name, that they might understand that secret name
Make
and
sure
thus
y'all like this
remember the
video
oath.
if y'all learn
And
something new
that those
tonight.
who pointed out
If you
every
haven't
secret
already.
thing to the children of men might tremble at that name and oath. This is the power of that oath, for powerful it is and strong. And he established this oath of Akai by the instrumentality of the holy Michael. These are the secrets of this oath, and by it were they confirmed. Heaven was suspended by it before the world was made,
Hey,
forever.
That's
By
what we
it
love
has
to
the
do around
earth been
here.
founded upon the flood,
That's how you.
while from the
I'm
concealed
telling you, when you smoke and you read, dude, like when people be having those like memes on the internet about like the when you get high and just like random ass thoughts come, like when you read the Bible or not just the Bible but read a book and you smoke, like it's gonna enhance whatever you like thinking about it. Like so, like I'm getting a lot of I'm learning a lot tonight just off the strength of me letting the book play a little bit more because most of the time I talk more. I mean, I've been talking a lot tonight, like, but overall, I've been letting the book play. But to know Eve was not seduced by Lucifer is crazy. Like, to know, like, he ain't got shit to do with the other angels, like, it's fucked up. Like, cause he had to take the rap for these motherfuckers. He probably knew of them, but he came down here first. He was probably the first that got kicked out of heaven. He probably inspired them niggas to do the same thing, but they started doing other shit. He wasn't even in the Garden of Eden. He probably was on some other shit. Like so, to know like God, I mean, smoking weed and help die exactly. Like so, to know like the devil is like taking a rap for like all these other motherfuckers, and it's 200 of them, and they like got their own agenda. Like it's kind of fucked up. Cause what's Satan's agenda? Like he wanted to be like God. Okay, who don't want to be like God? Don't we all like? So I'm gonna get kicked out of heaven because I want to be like you. You don't like you inspire me. So it's like the big brother seeing his little brother wanting to be great just like him. And he's like, nah, it's only one of me. Like that ain't cool. Like what the fuck? So he let the devil shine, or he let Lucifer shine on earth. Cause Lucifer do get a lot of like he do, but he get a bad rap though. Like you know he's very popular. He is negative. It's for negativity, and he's not even the cause of it. It's 200. It's motherfuckers who told people about killing, rape, all this fucked up shit, and it had nothing to do with Lucifer. Like literally, how could we say? Yeah, how could we say sinning is the devil fault or Satan fault or Lucifer fault when he ain't got shit to do with this shit? He ain't do shit to Eve. He ain't seduce Eve. None of this shit. Motherfuckers is not reading the book of Enoch and all these other books that took out because it contradicts the Bible. That's why that's why it's not in there. Like it's the voice of Satan getting to. It's more than one Satan though. They say multiple times there's Satans and there's gods as plural. Like so, it's like these angels are considered Satans because one, they gave man knowledge and wisdom. Two, they seduced, like they slept with women, had babies, had giants. Then like seduced Eve. Like they all had their own agenda. So now like God from his point of view and like the angels, those are the Satans, those are the demons. But are they really demons? Because if they was giving us knowledge, should we have to stay dumb and like following followers? Like I'd rather have the wisdom and the knowledge. Like I said yesterday, I probably was a fallen angel in this bitch because that's what I do. I give the knowledge. I expose knowledge. That ain't what God wants me to. Well, not me, because I'm not a. That's not my beliefs. But that ain't what He want His people to do. That's why when you go to church, they're only preaching the same sermons. They don't truly dive in the Bible. They don't. Why? Why is it you're a true believer of Christ, but you don't go read the book of Enoch? You don't preach that in the sermons. Like, huh? Cause you know what's in it, and you know it's gonna contradict what it's been saying this whole time. Like, no, tell the fucking truth. That's what it's about. Don't fucking hold no information. Don't hold no secrets. Don't keep people dumb. That's what this creator is about. Like, so, hey, if he want his people to be like that, he want them to worship him for eternity. He want them to bless him for eternity. By all means, do what you gotta do. But I'm just letting people know, hey, that ain't you can believe whatever you want to believe. You don't have to believe that. Because he's sending his people to hell. If you're not perfect, if you're not like Jesus, you're going to hell. Like that's why it's only certain people's name and stories mentioned in the Bible. Like why is it ain't like thousands of millions of other Christians who was supposedly following Christ's name mentioned? Because they wasn't. They all was sinning. Like so crazy. But it was his creation. The secrets came from heaven. All of this shit came from heaven. The wisdom, the knowledge of good and evil, it all came from heaven. The angels said, no, let's take these secrets and go down to heaven, to earth, and give it to the people. Help evolve man. God was like, nope. Like, I don't want that to be the case. But it's still the case. That's the whole thing. It's still there. Like, he didn't do a good job in destroying it because it's false. It's a fake story. Like, it's not literal. Like, so understand that. Like, it's cool, like, to learn lessons. You can learn a lot. See, I'm learning a lot by reading the Bible, listening to the Bible. But I understand, like, this ain't something I need to follow, like, to death. Like, what the fuck? Like, this shit way too contradicting. I don't know what the fuck to do. Can't be successful, can't be rich, can't be smart, can't be intelligent, can't be popular, can't be known. Like, damn, what the fuck? You want me to be just working 9 to 5 for the rest of my life? Don't do shit and hope I make it to heaven? But yet, I'm on a planet where as soon as I'm born, I'm dealing with motherfucking sin, family members who, man, if I was to tell you my life story from a child up until now, I think I'm gonna do that. So, and I'll let you know, as a Christian, like and how none of it was my fault. Like, I'm still bound to going to hell off that. God wanted us to be like the only animals in the way, just living life. Imagine dog had. If the dog had the same, yeah, he want us to be like an animal. Like, do you want to be like an animal? Like, answering that question truthfully, would you rather be just like an animal, or would you rather have knowledge? It's cool to be, man, but understand, like, just my story. From my first memory, right? It's me probably as a 1 year old flipping over a couch or something. 2 years old, I remember my first thing I remember is like being at the hospital. Like, I think my little brother was born. Then 3 years old, I remember like just struggling, living in Milwaukee every day, walking, didn't have a new vehicle. Like, exactly, you want knowledge. Like, I just remember in 3 years old, I remember the police SWAT kicking in the door, taking me from my mom and my dad, splitting up me and my four other siblings. I have, yeah, splitting up me and my four other siblings. Me and my older brother was put in the back of a police car. My mom said I tried to grab the gun and like tried to protect her, but I don't remember. 3 years old, like if I'm like that at 3 years old, just imagine me now. Like, so none of this is my fault, right? This is where God is placing placing people and making them try to like do right and be right. Like, so going through all that only at by the age of 3, like getting took away, not seeing my siblings for years, like, and then finally getting like living with my grandma in my Gigi 3-bedroom house in Gary, Indiana in the 90s. This is the worst place you can raise black kids. There's nothing positive coming out of that. Like, so for me to still, like, and my grandma and Gigi are Christians. Christian, like, had me in church every Sunday. When there was revivals, we was at them revivals. When it was a New Year's, we was at church. Like, so understanding and seeing that and like, man, y'all believe in this, but y'all like, they was strict, they was mean as fuck. It was like, man, this is what how y'all, I didn't get it. Honestly, I didn't get it. I'm like, y'all are sinning by what y'all doing. Y'all cuss at us. Like, now that I'm adult and I cuss at my kids, I'm like, oh shit, that ain't no sin. Like, I know sin ain't sin. Sin is negative thinking, not controlling your life, just following. That's the real sin. It's being dumb, being stupid, not being spiritually aware of who you are, not knowing your true capabilities, not operating at your highest self. Like, that's a sin. None of that other shit is sin. Cause it's hell. We in hell right now. That's why God has sent, like, that's why he sent Lucifer down here. That's where the angels is down here. Like, it's hell. Like, what I went through as a kid, I was supposed to go through that. It wasn't supposed to be all peaches and cream. And the shit, and the people whose lives where the shit do quote unquote is cool, they got everything what they want. Look how life turns out for them in the end. Most of them commit suicide. Most of them are depressed. Most of them are stressed. They hate life. And they quote unquote got everything they want. It is, I'm just saying, this is hell. Like, you gotta find the balance in life. You gotta make your own heaven, create your own heaven. That's why I do what I want, I say what I want, I act how I act, because I'm like, I'm gonna create my own heaven on earth. God don't want you to have that according to the Bible. Is so it's what he don't want you to be smart and like knowledgeable and have wisdom. Like, so it's crazy he gave uh King Solomon wisdom, because he don't want people to have wisdom. But I guess you like, fuck it, it's already down here. Might as well fucking let these niggas get wise and let them have knowledge. Like, so shout out to Marvin Cage coming through. This is my first time seeing you. Like, I see you got the thinking face, so what you thinking about? Like, what's on your mind? You probably like, damn, I didn't expect this. But the book of Enoch is like really enlightening me to like, damn, that's why they took this out the Bible, because there's a lot of shit that it really contradicts what's in like what they presented to us growing up, the King James version. The book of Enoch, they probably they never thought YouTube was gonna come around. You good now. Appreciate it. Like, I bet like thousands of years ago, like when they was Because what it is all propaganda. Propaganda. This religion is propaganda. It makes you believe in what it's whoever created it believe. Like that's what it is. Like so, for me to understand, like it caught my grandma, it caught my Gigi, it caught my mom, it caught family members who are stuck in this mindset. Like, and I'm like, man, I tried to save people and it didn't work. Like, so I'm like, fuck it, I gotta worry about myself. Like, like I said, create my own heaven on earth. And once again, to know like this shit ain't Satan's fault or Lucifer's fault, because once it's more Satan's and it's more gods. It ain't just one of each. So to know shit ain't all Lucifer's fault, but he get blamed for it, I'm like, that's fucked up. Cause the whole time it's saying like it never said Lucifer though was the serpent, right? Did it say that in Genesis? Did it actually say Lucifer was a Satan? I mean, a serpent, or did it say it was like a Satan was a serpent? Cause I always thought Lucifer was the serpent, right? If anybody else in here, like, if you've been studying the Bible, did you believe Lucifer was the serpent, or did you just think Satan? Because once again, there's more than one Satan, so it could have been any type of one of those angels that got kicked out of heaven because they like was exposed and shit, and they wanted to live a different life. God didn't want them to be sleeping with women. He didn't want to be them be giving them knowledge, and he damn sure didn't want us to evolve to the level we at now, like to where we can think for our own, like so. He wanted followers. He wanted people to worship him. That's why he took people out. That's why he took the Israelites out of Egypt. Now I know why he picked them. Because they're the ones who are going to worship and praise him. Any Hebrew Israelites you know, like they really believe in what they believe in. Like so I don't like, hey, shout out to them for believing that. But at the same time now I understand. Like now when I see them on the street in Vegas and how they are, I'm like, oh now I get it. I really get it.
Parts of the hills, the agitated waters proceed forth from the creation to the end of the world. By this oath, the sea has been formed, and the foundation of it. During the period of its fury, he has established the sand against it, which continues unchanged forever. And by this oath, the abyss has been made strong, nor is it removable from its station forever and ever. By this oath, the sun and moon complete their progress, never swerving from the command given to them forever and ever. By this oath, the stars complete their progress, and when their names are called, they return and answer forever and ever. Thus, in the heavens take place the blowings of the winds. All of them have breathings, and effect a complete combination of breathings. There the treasures of thunder are kept, and the splendor of the lightning. There are kept the treasures of hail and of frost, the treasures of snow, the treasures of rain and of dew. All these confess and laud before the Lord of spirits. They glorify with all their power of praise, and he sustains them in all that act of thanksgiving, while they laud, glorify, and exalt the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And with them he establishes this oath, by which they and their paths are preserved, nor does their progress perish. Great was their joy. They blessed, glorified, and exalted, because the name of the Son of Man was revealed to them. He sat upon the throne of his glory, and the principal part of the judgment was assigned to him, the Son of Man. Sinners shall disappear and perish from the face of the earth, while those who seduce them shall be bound with chains forever. According to their ranks of corruption shall they be imprisoned, and all their works shall disappear from the face of the earth, nor thenceforward shall there be any to corrupt, for the Son of Man has been seen, sitting on the throne of his glory. Everything wicked shall disappear and depart
So
from
why
before his
haven't
face.
Satan and all like this negativity disappeared? What's taking so long? Why's it taking like God so long to wipe out all negativity? Because it seems very prevalent to me. Like it's gotten pretty bad. Like God probably thought it was bad back then, but it's pretty bad today. Like knowing like the shit that goes on behind the scene, like just in Hollywood, like in music industry, like that shit is dark. And I'm like, God, why you ain't been wiped? Did y'all see this shit with Disney? Like, can't talk about that. Like, I was just about to say something. Like, I ain't even about to talk about that shit. Like, but still, like, shit is bad down here. God should have been like, just wipe this shit out. But he let it go on, and it's continued to go on. And it, like Lucifer is just sitting back, like this shit ain't even my fault yet. Everybody blaming me for it. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up for the show. Now I get make me want to go back and watch Lucifer, like low key, like man, like to know like it was other angels' faults, like who's doing shit. Fuck, that's crazy. And God, Lucifer just wanted to be like God. Don't we all want to be like God? Don't you want to be like God? That's why God brought Jesus down here. Cause he's like, I don't want y'all to be like me. I want y'all to be like him. He's perfect. He's the one like who's not fucking up. Like God be murdering people. God be destroying people. God is jealous. God is envious. That's why he don't want you to be like him. He wants you to be like Jesus, who is more loving, more caring. Like that's where people get it fucked up at. That's where Lucifer got it messed up at. If you got the power of God, that means you're going to abuse your power. Because I'm pretty sure God has abused his power before. Most people just don't question it because, oh, it's God. I don't want to get struck down. I don't want to go to hell. Fuck that shit. Let's tell the truth. Like, God is a genocide. He's wiping out. He didn't wiped out hella people. He didn't harden Pharaoh's heart when he could have let them people go. He done made prophets lie. Like he's done. Like he don't want you to be like him. He don't want people to be gods. Cause guess what? You're gonna fucking control. You're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like he wants you to be a fucking follower. He wants you to be stuck. I mean, Jesus wasn't stuck. Jesus was able to manifest. Like Jesus was able to do it. Like I said, he wants you to be like Jesus, and nothing is wrong with Jesus. They just turned him to white guy when you know damn well Jesus was not white. Like so, not to say like nothing's wrong with having a white Jesus because everybody got to feel good about themselves, right? Like so, if I was white and I heard about Jesus, I'm like, oh, I want to make him like me. Like I want to inspire my people. Like so, I get it. I'm not mad at it. Most people hate this shit. Some people don't care. I'm a person. I don't care. Like shit. What the fuck does it faze me? Like, but I do understand the psychology that comes behind it. That's why black people don't murder white people. They think of the white Jesus, and it's and their subconscious is like, nope, I don't want to go to hell. But off the back, you going to hell for like, I mean, hell is fake. Still, people's beliefs will get them stuck. People is watching me, just staring like I should. He didn't look at me. He just stopped in front of my car. I was about to say, what the fuck you looking at? No, I wasn't about to say that. But still, I be on it like shit crazy.
And the word of the Son of Man shall become powerful in the presence of the Lord of Spirits. This is the third parable of Enoch.
This shit is all a parable.
Section 12.
Fucking story.
Chapter 69.
Fake. No. That's why they keep calling it a parable for the book of Enoch, because they want people to say, oh, it's fake, it's not real. It's probably truly the truth. And the other Bible and all that shit, like Adam and Eve, is the. Nah, I ain't gonna say that's a parable. But that's why they keep calling it a parable, so people would take it as just a story. Maybe this is the real story, and that's why they took it out.
After this, the name of the Son of Man, living with the Lord of Spirits, was exalted by the inhabitants of the earth. It was exalted in the chariots of the Spirit, and the name went forth in the midst of them. From that time I was not drawn in the midst of them, but he seated me between two spirits, between the north and the west, where the angels receive their ropes to measure out a place for the elect and the righteous. There I beheld the fathers of the first men, and the saints who dwell in that place forever. Chapter 70. Afterwards my spirit was concealed, ascending into the heavens. I beheld the sons of the holy angels treading on flaming fire, whose garments and robes were white, and whose countenances were
My tab's
transparent
about to
as
die, y'all,
crystal.
so when they hit
I
that
saw two rivers of fire
10%,
glittering like
that's
the
when I'm gonna end the
hyacinth.
live.
Then
And we
I
about to
fell
hit
on
the
my
3 hour
face
mark
before
anyway,
the
so
Lord
like
of
that's usually
Spirits.
like
And
when I be
Michael,
ready to
one
get
of
off
the
anyway,
archangels,
so.
took me by my right hand,
Plus,
raised me up, and
starting to get
brought
the
me out to
munchies,
where
so.
was every secret of mercy.
Actually, I'm not even gonna wait till it get to the end. Like I'm just kind of start closing it out now. Like, we still got 2 hours and 2 minutes left on that. Like so, 2-2, and I'm at 22,000. I made it to 22,000 today. Actually, I'm at like 22,200 something. Like so, shout out for me to like not just me, but shout out to y'all like helping me get there. Like so, really appreciate it. As we continue to grow and expand, we're gonna expand our consciousness, our minds, and like we're not gonna continue to stay stuck. Like, hey, we all can be rich, we all can be wealthy. It's not really a sin. Like, it's just to keep people stuck in a certain way. I'm telling you, people, this book has been tampered with multiple times to fit people's agendas. So don't get caught and stuck in that cycle. Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful to live. Like, I'm telling you, when you get over that fear, like when you start questioning things, like I'm questioning shit, like I question the smallest shit, even if like it has no real meaning behind it. Like I question everything, and that's why like my I've expanded my consciousness. So like so why like because I'm like the shit that I believe in, like y'all be like, wait, what? This it'd be crazy to like what you like. I mean, well, if you've been hearing me speak, you probably got kind of get a glimpse of like what my beliefs is, but still like there's books that like kind of explain like the shit that I believe in, like, and there's nothing like this. It's absolutely nothing like this. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. Got 21 likes tonight. I really appreciate that. That was dope tonight. So that means you guys like uh what I was talking about or what was being played. I learned a lot tonight. Really, I really learned a lot, especially about Lucifer. I'm really about to go watch that show. I've been watching. Who mentioned Spartacus? Y'all probably not. The person who probably mentioned Spartacus not in here probably tonight, but I've been watching that. Like that's interesting as well. So I've been when people recommend things, I actually go check it out to see what y'all be interested in. Like it's cool to see what my subscribers are into. Like so, I can get not maybe get a glimpse into like y'all reality, but just you know, it's cool. I don't know. Talk to you.